Right. We're on.
We're live.
We're live. In
Coming
5
at you
seconds.
live.
Cutting on. Here we go. We're on, lads.
Okay.
Let's go.
All the leaves are brown.
And the sky is
And the sky is grey.
I've been for a
I've been for a walk.
on a winter's day.
So bad.
What a great start.
Welcome to Sunday night.
The best it is, we've got the best singer fucking at the five is here, right in front of us. Gaz pulling the ace card, man. I could not believe that when I was in Vegas, like. Could not believe it. I thought I was doing a number and I'm setting him up for me to look good.
Just get up there.
I was like, Gaz, just do it, man. Putting him up in the karaoke and he fucking went up and absolutely nailed it.
That's one of the reasons I don't drink shots, because I'm quite willing to go up and sing in the karaoke.
Oh, he had the place fucking absolutely bouncing, man. It's unbelievable.
I woke up about 7 o'clock that morning from my work and I just came up like Craig Mott is live. And 7 obviously are 8 hours.
Aye, that's right.
Like 11 o'clock at night and sure as shit there was guys up singing on the stage and I'm like, no way, man. You know what I mean? You're nailing it.
Just an absolute voice and angel.
Grand, it's the first and the last time we'll ever get to do that, eh?
Oh, honestly, if I'd found this out about 7 or 8 years ago, I'd have just said, Gaz, give up the jiu-jitsu, give up the MMA. Just go for the singing, pursue the singing, man. Put everything into singing, you can make it to the top.
10 years later, I've choked every week.
That's what I mean. Fucking catapult us into stardom. Oh,
We're needing something, man.
we're needing some fresh material. 100%, man.
Everyone's sick of hearing that song.
Where do you think we can get an on-top card for here? Let's see if we can find this on-top card and we'll go through it. I mean, we only...
I used to be there last night, eh?
Aye, we caught it. It was fucking good show, man. I mean, we only caught like what second half. We decided to go for a wee Ramendale. Anybody?
Garlic soup.
It was pretty good. Ramendale in Glasgow. We went for some garlic soup and some other shit, so that was pretty good. I think they've got the full card up here, like live results. So this will kind of talk us through. Be
Some
quite
cool fights for what I heard. I looked at the results, like, so we'll be able to...
aye.
Excellent fights, eh?
So there was a lot of fights on the card. It was like, I don't know, what, 20 or something. I don't know. I'll find out now, but I'm sure there was a lot of fights. I mean, this is all broke down kind of step by step,
It
but
was
18 fights. Because they're saying they just basically done all amateur fights.
That was all amateur, there was no pros at all.
Yeah, aye, which is,
Couldn't lose the main event, didn't they?
and it's probably the busiest it's ever been.
Aye, because it's amateur, because that's the problem. when I had my first 2 or 3 fights, I was selling like 50, 60 tickets a time.
Aye.
I fought that many times, 25 fights or something there. Like, anyway, come and watch my fight. And, like,
That's right.
I sell 3 or 4, everyone's sick of it. Like, no one's
Aye.
interested anymore.
It's mental that, eh? Like at the start of your career when you're actually no fighting that great guys and stuff like that, you sell loads and loads of tickets, but then as people just get scunnered with it and they're like, right, we've seen them fight. they're not that bothered. I remember like one of the early Art of Combats, I sold like, well over 100 tickets. You know, I mean, now I'd struggle to probably sell about 20 tickets for people to come and see. But you don't care as much either. You just want to get on with the fight camp. Probably because I got licked. 120 folk to watch Paul McBain fucking punch my face in an amount of triangle.
People now would rather just wait on the video coming out.
Aye.
I'll wait a week or 2 and see the video.
Aye, that's it. The video quality's that good as well. Before you had to wait, like rely on somebody fucking filming it on their phone or whatever they could do, you know.
Shows how long they're fighting for now, eh? Back in the old SFC days, you wouldn't even get videos or nothing, even like the Art of Combat.
SFC done videos. They were the first to really do it well.
DVDs.
That's right, aye.
DVDs.
Aye. They were a bit wiser.
I used to best them. You got the DVD yet? You got it? Yeah. It takes 6 months never to get the DVD.
I think this is me getting into truffles, so sorry about this in the video here. But
There's always time for truffles.
aye, am I right? Am I wrong?
Your mum's a top baker, I've got to put that out there, man.
Aye. Shout out to Lorraine.
100%.
She likes to look after her laddies.
Get on that Molly and Flo's page and give it a like.
There you go. Sponsored by Molly and Flows. There we go.
Can get some sort of arrangement for that.
Aye.
That's a win-win.
Let's see. We've got loads of pictures here for the fight, so this we can make a start. I'm going to skip a few. Unfortunately, I'm not quite into the fucking scene as much as I used to be. I used to be able to name like every single amateur fighter there was out there, and pretty much memorise every fight they'd ever had. But I'm struggling these days, man.
Where's your brother Stevie when we need him?
Aye, Stevie's like that. Stevie can memorise every fight, everything everybody's ever done in any fight ever.
Stevie knows every amateur fighter in the UK.
And pro, man. He's fucking got some memory. That's what he does. He just watches fights constantly. Aye, there was some. I mean, that fight didn't happen.
Did I know?
No, that fight didn't happen.
That's bad boy.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That was a good fight. I heard. That's when we just came in. So we came in when Camille was fighting David Fell. David Fell's one of Stevie Ray's boy. Did you? I don't know what I was doing then. I think I went and took a shit or something.
That was a great fight.
I did actually.
Boy, Camille, he came out really up for it, like proper sort of in David's face and stuff, like really up for the occasion.
I've reffed one of his fights before. He's a scary looking guy, man.
He
Big,
came out hard.
powerful dude.
He came out really hard, like looking for the finish in the first round. That's what he was wanting, obviously. And that David man just showed toughness and gritted through it, a bit down his gum shield, just started swinging back. It became like a toe-to-toe war, like the two of them just started going at it. And I think that Camille
Bit of Braveheart, would some say.
It was actually. And he rolled through, boy David, he rolled through for a footlock at one point. Seemingly he's quite good with his leg lock stuff. But obviously you can't heel hook in amateur, so he rolled through for a toe hold, almost got it. And then I'm sure by the end of the first, that Camille kind of gassed. He looked really tired and he kind of looked frustrated that he hadn't put him away. Came out in the second and David probably just put it on him.
Aye.
Oh, really?
I actually spoke to Stevie Ray the day in training, and he says to me, that's the way David fights. He actually likes to get into
a scrap.
A few boxing fights and stuff before the amateur boxing fights, and likes to get a tear up.
He likes a bit of toe to
throw it down. It was a good fight. It's always good to watch that. Two guys
A bit back and forth.
toe to toe.
What else we got? Oh, that was a cool fight, man. We Adam Bartley was fighting Aaron Towns. It was a bit of reverse roles because I hear that Aaron Towns was more of a kickboxer. Been a bit of a kickboxer. I think he's got quite a bit of background in kickboxing. So he was fighting Adam, and I'd expected probably Adam maybe out grapple him or whatever. Adam was looking in great shape before the fight. He trains at MXP under Adam, so he's a really nice wee guy. He jumped into one of your Sunday sessions as well. But it looked like Aaron managed to. The guy Aaron Towns actually managed to control a lot of the grappling in that fight, which was surprising.
Where's Aaron Towns fight, is it?
I think it's Results Gym Forfar. But a lot of those guys, when they put them through, they've already got quite a bit of kickboxing background. Most of their guys have always had, above the belt or full contact kickboxing backgrounds. So seen that before, but that was a pretty cool fight. I like Adam, man. He just fights constantly, and he'll fight anybody, which is like the best way really to get good. He's still a really young guy, so I think he's got like a promising career ahead of him.
Get as many fights under.
That's it. Why not? It doesn't make a big difference, you know. I never caught this one, Sean Gilly, but I did steal his pass. So sorry about that, Sean Gilly. From Newcastle Fight Centre. I managed to find a pass.
With his name on it.
With his name on it. So
The guys from
I think it must have been for Peter. Peter Irvin's gym. I think. I never caught that fight, but backstage he looked quite long dude.
It was a good fight. He actually, I thought the lad from Peter Irvin's gym actually won the fight. To be honest, I thought he maybe just did enough to win it, but the other guy got the.
Didn't he get the nod? Aye.
Was Pete there?
He was there.
He's a tough motherfucker. Like.
He's a tough dude, man.
He's a tough dude.
I was laughing last night because pretty much most of the shit I learnt when I first started jiu-jitsu was out of Fighters Only magazine, when reading Pete Irvin's section where he was like doing, showing a technique of the week and stuff like that. It was always really good stuff, and I'd be like, right, I'm going to practice that one, you know what I mean? Getting a bit of inside info on people and stuff that maybe other folk in the club didn't know, for reading that Fighters Only. Half the moves I learnt at the start of my career were probably off Pete Irvin, just for his section in Fighters Only magazine.
I met him about 8 years ago or something. He was actually working and living down in London, Urban Kings. I'm sure the name of the gym was Urban Kings or something like and it was back in the day where there wasn't very many black belts in the UK. There wasn't lucky if there was 10, and he was one of them.
Yep.
You just tell he's an OG.
You're really nice guy as well. He's always got time for everybody.
Back in the old sort of cage rage days, he was he was killing it.
And about it.
Days and stuff.
Oh, his stand-up bouts were pretty.
Oh, he's vicious.
He fought just last year. He fought in Thailand.
Oh, did he?
I spoke to him about it last night. I says, still a few fights left and you beat. I don't know, you know, like one of the guys. I don't know, but.
I was talking to Mark Young about the same thing, man. He was saying the same. He's like, I'd still like to get a few more fights. I don't think it leaves anybody, man. You just want to fight all the time. It's like, fuck, I've not fought now in 3 years, you know what I mean? You always want to fight. You start watching it and you just say to yourself, I miss this shit so much. It's the best feeling in the world, you know what I mean?
Mark Young's been around for a long time, eh?
Oh man,
He
aye.
was in the game and Ackerman starting out as well.
Mark Young used to bring his gum shield to every single show just in the hope that somebody would pull out or get injured so that he could get a scrap. Like, I'm telling you what, man, Cumnock boys are tough as fuck. And they always have been. My first fight show was in Cumnock. It was a riot outside it. And everybody said to me beforehand, like, these guys are always nuts. And do you know something? They're great, good people. Like, when I fought Willie McCurdy, like, in end of 2011, like, they were all messaging me before it and that. Like, there was lasses saying, like, oh, we'll bring you through Stovies and that for after the fight. This was going to be a good fight because Willie was, like, undefeated at the time. He was, like, 4-0, I think he was. And he was, like, lightweight and I was coming up for featherweight. I was, like, I don't know, 5-1 or something like that, or 4-1, 5-1, something like that. It was, like, 5-0 and 1 draw. Aye, that's right. So I fought Willie and I beat him, and it was like, the folk that came to watch him were like being really nice to me after it, and ended up being supporting me in other fights and stuff. It was cool. But aye, they're all cool people who come like.
They're all really hard as well.
Aye, they're all hard as nails. You know what I mean? They're hard as nails, man. So that fight that never happened, Graham Postlewaite versus Danny Mastiff. That's who ended up fighting Coonley. Another one that didn't go ahead.
That didn't go ahead as well.
Didn't go ahead.
Pro, so. That
was meant to be a pro fight with Keir Harvey and Ian Postlewaite, which that would have been an interesting fight. I think it would have probably.
I don't know if Keir. I think it was Keir maybe pulled it. I'm sure it was Keir that pulled it.
Yeah, because I seen they were still looking for somebody for Ian.
An injury or maybe just
adjusting at the new gym.
In the gym, maybe James locked him away a wee bit longer. Or.
I mean, I think like that's the right thing to do probably, because when I first went to the higher level, I had a few fights already booked as well, but I had kind of my heart set on them at the time. That was like that tournament. But I think like the right thing that you do when you join a new gym is like let the coach decide when you should be fighting whoever you're fighting.
Especially making your pro debut as well. Like.
It's a big difference. Well, it wouldn't be Keir's pro debut. Keir had his pro debut.
Oh, is it? Has he had a pro?
Yeah. He beat the boy. Aye.
Well,
aye, done well, man. Done well. So he can afford to hang off a wee bit if he wants.
Yeah, he's only a young kid, isn't he?
Aye, that's it, and he's talented and hungry, so why not? The Mark Ewan fight, Mark Ewan ended up getting a replacement. That was like, for me, probably one of the coolest fights of the night.
That was the fight of the night for me, I think.
Mark Ewan.
Pretty slick,
the performance
Mark.
tonight,
Pretty
he looked
slick,
excellent. Really composed. Crazy how composed he looked. Like nothing at all phased him going out there. The way he was moving, mixing up his shots, mixing his stances, his southpaw orthodox. He was hitting on the back foot, and then he was landing nice strikes on the back foot. When it came to putting the pressure on, he was doing that. It looked really good. His grappling's definitely. His striking's up there already. I'm sure he's only had a few. I think he's had quite a few Thai fights as well as MMA, 6 or 7 MMA.
Yeah, he's very active. I've refed a few of his fights, you know.
And his grappling's only going to get better as well at higher level.
Yeah, his grappling's good. He came in and done a session with us on one of the Sundays, him and Keir, and especially like MMA style grappling. He had really good like getting back to his feet and stuff like that, and didn't let anything bother him or faze him. You know, like some people get themselves down if anything happens, like lose a position, whatever. But he's just like, no, well, right back in it. Like
Young lad.
Aye, there's nothing phases him. So
yeah, he's definitely one to watch in the future. I think.
Yeah.
Definitely one to watch after last night.
I think at pro he'll probably drop to featherweight, because size wise, like it won't be the biggest lightweight, but I think at featherweight you're going to struggle to find guys that'll beat him, because he's pretty dominant everywhere, you know, and he's confident and young and got all the other shit going for him, you know. He's a really nice lad as well, so I think that'll be good for him through at higher level.
Prospect, definitely.
For sure. That next fight we've got up here, Lee Johnson versus Ola Jacobson. Aye.
It was good to see Jaggy back in there, man. I was glad he was back in there doing it.
Definitely. 2 years out
He
and
looked like he'd never been away.
aye. That's
Jaggy's
it.
another one. Nothing at all phases him. Like,
Nah.
as far as fighting goes, I've never ever seen Jaggy get nervous or before any fight. He knows exactly what it is. He's just going in to have a fight.
Nah, he's a tough fucker.
That's what it is. He's like,
Enjoys
there's
it.
nothing phases him. It's just, how you feeling, Jaggy? I'm good. We're just going to go out there and have a fight. Basically, he knows what he's in there for. And again, the way he was mixing up his strikes into his takedowns was perfect. Like, he made it actually look really easy.
Yeah.
He finished the boy last night,
And a
eh?
Swedish guy as well, and the guys from Sweden.
How did he finish him again?
Choke.
I'm sure he was rear naked, was it?
I think so, aye.
That's why, because I checked the results this morning.
The
Eh?
boy had no quitting him as well. He had a couple of different chances to get out there.
The boy looked a bit scared going into like the second round or something like that. The look in his face to say, oh fuck, you know.
So,
I think it was because Jaggy had mounted him. I think it was the end of the first round. It was teeing off on him. And I think Jaggy was talking some shit to him as well. He was like, motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. You know, he was angry. He got angry with him, and it's like, aye, do you like that sort of thing? It was something like that. Do you like that? Aye, I know. You can, if you can comment somewhere, Jaggy, let us know what you said to the guy at the end of the floor.
Aye, definitely, it looked solid the way he came out. Basically, it was textbook stuff, sort of jab, cross, hook, and then straight into that double leg, put him up against the cage. Just took him down, beat him up.
Yep.
The first round, same again, took him down, beat him up, rear naked choke, finish.
Yeah.
Looked like he'd never been away.
We got Logan's fight there. Anybody's talking about Logan?
Aye, I'm not saying that. We've got Kunle Lawal and
Kunle was main event, so we'll talk about that in just a wee minute. But Logan was on first, I think, out the higher level guys.
Yeah.
First, yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure when I came in, it was like a few fights in, it was Logan.
There we
are.
go.
Aye.
Darren Crichton.
Dan Crichton, that was a really cool fight, man. I think out of all the guys that were meant to be on the show, out of Dan Crichton's team, I think a lot had got injuries and pullouts and stuff like that, so he was like the last one out of them all that was left on it. But man, it looked like Logan was controlling the fight pretty well. Fair play to Dan Crichton, because he was caught up in a rear naked choke, like locked up clean for about 30 seconds at the end of the second round, I think it was.
He was saved by the bell.
Aye, it was real tight, and they had no quitting him or anything like that as well. But Logan's a talented guy and a really hard worker as well, so that was cool. He was switching his stance really well, mixing up his takedowns. His wrestling was brilliant, his jiu-jitsu was on point. I was like, oh, switch to the body triangle, and I'd like to see him switch to the body triangle in that last sort of 15 seconds. It puts that extra crank on sometimes when if you're not under the chin, or the guy's like really tough, just that body triangle usually just puts the finishing touches. Even if you're not under the chin, you usually put them away a bit.
Logan just got his purple belt.
That's right.
As well.
I was watching him 2 Wednesdays ago in the gym, and he keeps hitting this flying triangle thing for, like when he's trying to pass guard. It's minted, like, kind of like your rolling Kimura one. But he just does it straight into it, and he was hitting some good guys with it. It was pretty cool to watch, to be honest. He looks like, and he's one of the guys that just comes on leaps and bounds because he just trains.
Trains constantly.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm sure they actually gave his job up to train full time.
Oh, really?
He was training full time.
That's brilliant, man.
And you can tell that, like, just
Aye, the way he's performing.
how quick just the speed he's getting better at. He's just
Aye.
better and better.
Shout out to wee Logie Bear. There you go.
He looked excellent last night. Same again. With that switching stance. That's the kind of new stuff you see now. Is like back when, even 3-4 years ago, guys weren't really switching stances. It was a lot kind of more traditional Muay Thai stance. Whereas now that everyone's kind of all the younger generation that are coming through, you're going to see guys switching stances, fighting
A lot more readily.
just
Aye.
as strong in southpaw stance as they are in their orthodox stance, and it makes your opponent so much harder to hit. If
they can do that.
If they can do that, because they can angle off either way, you don't know what way, like they're not going to. And same if they're taking the centre of the cage as well, it means it's dangerous whatever way. You can't necessarily circle to the away from the power side, because they'll just switch the stance and hit you with that power side. It's a big, it's a huge advantage if you can do that confidently.
Yeah. Aye. I don't think I even tried it until the last fight in my career.
You're quite good at it.
I love it, man. I hit harder for southpaw than I do for. The last time I tried it was fucking against Bungard, and I can remember he had landed a couple of leg kicks, and I was switching just purely to try and land the straight left. But I switched to my southpaw stance to try and work my southpaw stuff, and then I heard Paul Craig shouting from the outside, "Those leg kicks are hurting him." And I thought, are they fuck hurting me? So I switched back to orthodox, and fucking, I shouldn't have done it because I was wanting to play with my left, I was wanting to play with my southpaw stuff. So I've actually never had a chance to work it properly, but I was just being stubborn, listening to outside stuff. I don't know, hurt me. So I switched back and started tapping my leg as if to say, kick me again. It doesn't hurt, but it's fucking stupid, really. I should have just kept playing my game, but it's like, so fair play. Paul Craig got in my head for that fight. Good patter. But,
I think the time like someone was elbowing you in the chest and they're going, drop bombs on him, Kevin.
oh, that was like my second fight, aye. I can remember hearing it and just saying, he's not dropping fucking anything, kid. What are you talking about? It's fucking an amateur C-class fight. You can't even, you elbow me in the stomach, do you think that's going to hurt?
The best one was I fought a guy called John Gilchrist.
Aye.
And his
John Joe's class. Shout out to John Joe if you're listening, man.
Good guy, but his coach was a fucking maniac. Was it
Who was it, Ash?
Ash Mohammed.
Oh, Ash is a great guy.
He was roaring at the top of his voice like, kill this guy, kill him. I'm like, fuck, that's about as much as it knows.
Aye, Ash is nuts, man.
It was probably, thought it was live or die in this fight. Like,
Aye.
I'm like,
That's a bit extreme. I remember he nearly got in a fight with Will McCracken.
we were
Mid,
guys were talking about that.
aye, mid fucking. It was mid fight. I can't remember who it was.
Magic Galani was fighting Mike the Bogey Logie.
That's right. That's right.
I'll never forget his walkout to that man, because I was saying that to you earlier on. It was like Bat Out of Hell came on and he came down and he was shaking the cage.
That was crazy. It was a crazy.
That was a mad fight.
That was a mad fight.
Bill McCracken, he was the ref and he stopped the fight. But to be fair, I'm pretty sure Galani was actually out or almost out.
Oh, it was. I remember Ash was roaring at him.
But Ash was absolutely. Ash got in, came in the cage and was basically let a square go. Bill McCracken.
At the side of the cage, he was shouting at him as well beforehand, and I think Will was like, "Look, if you've got fucking something to say, speak to me after." Like, fucking. Will was a tough cunt too, man. He was. Fucking hell. But aye, that was mad. That was mad shit. So main event of the night was that. Who was co-main? Who was co-main? It was Adam. It was Adam Bartley actually. So we'll jump to the main then. I think we've covered most of them anyway.
Yeah.
But with Coonley fighting. Coonley fought Danny Naismith. It was a pretty good fight. Coonley lost the decision. Big fight for him as well. You know.
A hard fight for Coonley to be honest. I mean that boy was another tough bastard for coming. I know that Coonley's not capable of beating him. He is capable of beating him. He showed that in the first round. He's kind of.
Yeah, he definitely won the first round pretty clean.
Definitely won his first round. He found his range in the first round. Started popping him with the straight right, just popping him with the hands. I think that Danny, he started looking to try and wrestle more.
Aye. But it was exchanging as well. He was walking forward well on the strikes and like just trying to make it more a scrappy fight than a technical fight, which is the right way to fight with somebody that's a really good technical striker. Aye, exactly. So he executed a good game plan as well.
But again, Coonley's only 19, 20-year-old.
20-year-old, aye.
He trained his arse off as well. Like,
yeah.
That's what I think. Coonley was kind of beating himself up a wee bit after the fight and stuff. And like. Says to him, you can't beat yourself at amateur, especially. I mean, we've all lost.
Aye, 100%. Aye.
I mean, and that's what amateur. If you're going to lose, like amateurs,
the place to do it. Take the tough fights early. Do you know what I mean?
Take the tough fights. It's not like he's out there looking for easy fights. He's taking tough fights, and to be honest, he's went the distance. It's given him all that experience, which is what amateurs for again.
100%.
You know, going the distance, like you learn more from getting beat in a 3-round war than you will of unbalance someone.
That's it. It's not like he's went out and been tapped out, or he's not went out and been stopped or hurt or anything like that. He's lost a close decision. You know.
He can learn from it, man, and he will learn from it because he's a tough kid.
Aye, fucking right he is, man.
He walked through the doors years ago doing it the old days.
Aye. Shit.
He was a tough kid back then. Never mind now, man.
Aye. So Coonley, when he first started, man, he was like 14 when he first came through the door, and he's obviously quite a big kid and stuff like that. And him, he was a big kid. Him and Lewis started at the same time, and they came to train with us. And you know, at first he wasn't really particularly like he didn't like stand out as well, like other than being a big kid. You know what I mean? But he just turned up all the time, every day. Do you know what I mean? He never ever missed a day, and a lot of the time he was going to the gym after work to do weights. He'd not go home for dinner. He would just go straight to the gym, do weights, like maybe have a protein shake or something, come to training. So he wasn't even going home. You know, he was going to training, staying all night, training, and he just turned up all the time. He's like really, really consistent, and you just started to see, because of his consistency, he would just start to overtake the rest of the guys in the gym. It was cool to watch, and it's been I love seeing him, you know, getting all the wins and stuff like that, and it's been great to see him, you know, getting the credit he's due. He'll probably, you know, it's good as well sometimes getting a loss, you know, at the stage when everybody's up your arse, because that's what happens. You know, you start getting quite a few wins, and you've got all these bandwagon jumpers that are like, oh, you couldn't let this, do you know what I mean? And that's what people get like. But the great thing is, all the people that really love you still love you after you lose, and you know, that your coaches and your teammates still know what you're capable of. They still care about you. So it's sometimes a good thing, you know. Getting a loss early on, you get to know who all your real friends are, all that stuff. So. We all love you still, Coonley, and we're going to have you on soon for a catch-up, and we'll get some training in soon as well, man, and I can't wait to see what you do to your next opponent, because I know that you'll come back hungry as before, and, you know, you're still going to be, you know, one of the best pros in the country one day, and go wherever you want to go, man.
Big up the Nigerian Ninja, man.
Aye, big up to the Nigerian Ninja, top man. So, I think that sort of concludes on top. Aye.
Was there no any other fights we've seen? Any other good fights?
On top, anything you can think of?
Stevie Ray, he had three guys fighting last night.
One of Feenan's boys won. I missed it, but I won it.
Stevie's boys, he had three guys fighting, two of them won.
Aye.
One of them lost, so 2-1 for.
That's good. It's good to see those guys starting to put boys out, and you're just starting to see the scene pick up again with amateurs, because for a while there you couldn't find, there wasn't that many amateurs kicking about. But
they probably took the 18 fights on expecting maybe 5 or 6 of them to be pull-ups, so they all just went ahead, so they ended up. I mean, what time did we actually leave?
It was late. It was like 12 o'clock probably. At least 12:30 by the time we left.
It was like 1:30 last night.
It was late.
I couldn't thought it was like maybe 12:20.
Well, I dropped you off at 1. So what were you up to for that last half? What were you doing for that last half?
In theory, you should have went straight to bed.
Got to move with the black hoodie and joggers on.
Chat for a run at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Aye, man. But, aye, for sure. Because I'd asked about getting on that show. Maybe getting a fight on it. I was trying to get a fight maybe at some point this year, and they said they'd no budget for pro fighters. So I was like, oh well, then that's that then.
The amateur.
They've probably just been smart. They make money on amateur fighters, so why would they want to put pro fighters on? They have to usually.
Yeah, they're still paying their amateur fighters, but they get £100 or something like that.
I don't know. Last time I heard it was like £10.
Ticket deal.
Oh, ticket deal.
I don't know. They mixed it up, but the ticket deal works well for them, because then they can't lose with a ticket deal.
They tried that with pro fighters as well.
Aye. Doesn't work.
I said, nah, I can't do that. I'm sure I was going to fight him, and he says to me, oh, you get £20 a ticket.
Aye, something like that.
Entice you, but
yep.
I'm not actually a big ticket. So it's not even that if I wanted to really try and push it, and like, but I can't be honest. Especially when I concentrate the fight. 3 weeks out the fight.
Aye.
The last thing I want to do is
sell tickets.
Cars, try to get money. They get them, sell tickets and drop tickets.
Who's realistically got time for that?
When you're holding down a full-time job and fucking
You've got kids and that.
try to punt tickets.
You're stressing yourself out trying to make a purse.
Aye.
Trying to make a purse from this fight.
You're basically on commission, right?
Aye.
So,
Commission, I'm like, nah. Says you guarantee maybe even like guarantee me £400 and then like
yeah.
give me a tenner commission deal or something.
Flat rate it as a lot.
If I'm not even interested in a ticket, just guarantee me £400 or something.
Like the fight. Purse money.
I'm just looking at Stevie Ray's fighters there. We've got David Fell. Was that David Fell? Yeah.
He done good.
Yeah, we spoke.
The hit squad guy.
We're talking about him. Aye. And then there's another one I saw him. Just looking at some pictures here. Bradley Scott. Yeah, Finlay Wright. Yeah.
We missed that.
Oh, did he beat Finlay Wright? Aye.
Yeah, there's a wee picture there.
Oh, right.
Saying aye.
That Finlay Wright kid's good.
Via submission in the first round. Triangle.
I've saw one of his fights before. He's a really good guy. A good amateur. He's up north. He's training with Ross Houston and that now. He used to train with Aidan Stephen and whatnot, but he's good, man.
I was speaking to Ross Houston last night.
Aye, how's he getting on?
Aye, good man. Aye, good. Yeah, I was speaking to him and who's this? Big Jamie.
Oh, he's mad, eh?
He's mad.
Aye.
He was saying,
I like Big Jamie actually. I think he's going to go far.
Definitely.
Big tough motherfucker, eh?
Big tough fucker, aye. Definitely.
Have you? Aye, you played rugby with him before? Did he? Fuck.
I think he said he was going to go back up to heavyweight. He said.
Alright, that's cool.
So he's got a new strength conditioning coach. I'm sure he was saying he's going to take him up to heavyweight, and then I'm sure he says that when he makes the turn to pro, he's going back down to light heavyweight.
Maybe a good idea.
But he says he's got a lot of experience. Five rounds he fought in that last fight down south.
Mm-hmm.
He beat, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He said it was a close fight.
Wales, I think it was.
5 3-minute rounds. He says it was a close fight. But I definitely he'll go for it as well.
Well, we'll jump on the UFC card. See what we've got. Did any catch UFC last night? Or?
The prelims, that's about it.
I was trying to watch it as you came in there.
I caught a little bit.
I'm getting too old to stay.
This is quite bad that I can't even remember the fights even though I watched them.
Too many punches.
There you go.
Aye.
Aye. You got Melender. Curtis Melender. I think
Oh,
we'll
he
talk
lost
about him,
today.
eh?
I thought he would have won as well.
Yeah.
He's he lost first round choke. He's a real big tall dude. I think he's for California. Like Curtis Melender. He's a cool big guy. Really long range-ish kind of striker. But looks like he's been caught in a submission early on. Tim Means lost as well. The Dirty Bird.
Yeah. Ben Rothwell.
Big Ben Rothwell.
Did he win?
He lost.
Man,
Decision, aye.
he fought the dude, the Bulgarian guy. He was like a world champion, I think, World Series of Fight or something like that. What's his name? Is it
Blagoy Ivanov.
Ivanov? Aye. Yeah, he's like a really tough guy. He got stabbed in a bar fight and stuff. He fought Ben Rothwell last night. That was maybe Ben Rothwell's first fight back after he got caught for steroids after doing loads.
He got caught for steroids, isn't it?
I just talked loads of shit on people that took steroids and then got caught taking steroids. What the fuck is wrong with people, man?
No, I've not heard or seen anything for a good year and a half now, so that must have been a long suspension.
He got a big suspension because I'm sure he had a background for it, but he was on a podcast like slating everybody that had been caught for steroids, and then he's got caught himself.
Got the picograms.
Aye, it's fucking rife.
Everybody's on steroids.
It's so fucked up, man. Honestly, it's so bad. It's so bad in sport MMA that
It's
like
brutal.
I think it's across the board, eh? Not just
Yep.
MMA. You see it-
jiu-jitsu. Oh, I know. I said that before. Like people were saying, oh, there's not as much money in jiu-jitsu, and so there's probably not as many people on steroids. I disagree, man. Like a lot of people that even do jiu-jitsu have got money anyway. Like maybe not the Brazilians so much, but I mean they get it in their cereal over there, so it's totally different. Do you know what I mean?
It's in the meat.
Aye, fuck.
A lot of people say to me like they should either allow steroids so that everyone can get on them, or everywhere should be testing them.
I think they should have a division for them. You know, like the Legends division. Do you know what I mean? Just get Vitor and that,
Just get them
full of the
back
juice.
in there, yeah.
Just imagine all the Legends, Vanderlei, just get them all full of the juice and give them a new lease of life.
Fuck it, Royal Rumble.
Aye, and then that way at least you can just, you know what, right, fine, you're on the juice, just don't like pretend you're not, that's it. And then the guys that are clean can fight each other, because it is an advantage. Like when you see people, I've definitely trained with people that I've felt that were on them before, and I've felt the difference when they're on them and off them. And
When they're off cycle or on cycle.
aye, I've felt the difference, like for sure, and 100% it makes a difference. You know, you could tell with their ferocity, you could tell with their strength, you could tell with their cardio, you tell the way that people eat shots. You can tell a big difference when people.
The way they can
March you down.
cardio especially.
Yeah.
I mean, guys can just keep going, take big shots, and they're just in their strength as well. It's just an unfair advantage. The way you can, the way it helps you is just put your weight back on after losing water or whatever. And you just fire.
The hell was that?
Yeah. Or just been something else, yeah.
Aye, so I mean that shit is.
For me, I'd put a few folks into me that would have done me good for my arm.
Aye.
Basically, get on like a growth hormone.
Yeah, yeah.
Loads of people said that to me. Like,
Yeah.
Never thought of the growth hormone or something in it. And then I actually kind of thought about it. I was like maybe like if it helps my arm get better, it
Aye.
helps me get back in the gym.
Yeah.
Perfect. And as soon as my arm's fixed, I would have stopped taking it.
Mhm.
And I actually kind of inquired about it and looked into it a bit. And I just thought to myself, you know what, it's more hassle than it's worth, I'll get it pinned.
I know.
It was like, as soon as someone mentioned is you just need to jag, they say you don't even need to jag your ass, like you can just pull a wee bit of skin for your belly and jag it, it's not bad. Like, no, like, as soon as it comes to me putting a needle on this, no chance I could.
Not happening.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like if I could fucking repair all my body, like it would be I would love that, but I fucking talked so much shit on steroids and been so against it all the days since fighting that I just couldn't do it, man. I wouldn't do it. I'm just like, nah, do you know what? Like, I knew when I was getting into MMA, my body was going to be really sore all the time. I'm lucky I've not got, you know, worse injuries than what I've had for MMA, so I kind of knew that was going to be the price that I was going to pay anyway, that my body was going to be sore. But if you said, like, oh, you can have a nice unsore body and a couple of nice shiny ears that aren't like like a couple of dogs' chew toys, then like a couple of these bad boys, you know, but you can't get all those amazing experiences that you got for MMA. I would never trade it off, do you know what I mean? Even I would never trade it off. There's nothing I would do to take away the last 10 years of training and competing, if my body was going to be not sore, do you know what I mean? Like, who cares about that?
Thing is, man, they're never going to be there in sports, eh?
Aye.
They've been around for the fucking dawn of day. It's just the way it is.
It's all sport, not just anything.
Aye, 100%. Well, it goes back to the fucking Lance Armstrong and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, but I see. Once I started hearing more about, like, at first I just didn't understand. I didn't even realise like what steroids were, or that, like, how obvious it was. Everybody was in it when I got into MMA. Like, I had no idea. But then through listening to podcasts and then, you know, starting to research and stuff, I was like, and you start to see it, and then you're like, oh right, these guys. That's why these guys are like got unlimited aggression. But it helped me because I used to think, like, no, I can just be mad like Wanderlei Silva, or I can just be ferocious like these guys, you know what I mean? If you just, it's a mindset. I thought it's a mindset more than anything, do you know what I mean? And you can kind of train yourself to be like that. But these guys can't be like that forever. Like, these guys are probably training like that with that kind of ferocity for hours on end, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
and the thing is, these guys are because they're on steroids, they can train 3 times a day
Aye.
and just not get tired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can do that every single day, like 3 times a day, just beasting through sessions, and that's not normal.
no, it's not. Like, I don't have that kind of aggression anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I'm beating somebody, I'm going to be beating them with a bit of skill. You know, I'm not going to really try to put a pace in them. I'm just going to try and be better than them. I'm not. You know, I'm really going to be beating somebody through ferocity or that anymore. Do you know what I mean? I didn't have that kind of anger in me to be doing that anymore. I mean, I used to get really excited about fighting and hurting people. I just didn't really get that excited about doing stuff to that anymore, really, you know. It's,
it might be different if you eat a couple of shots, because that's usually...
Aye, don't get me wrong. Soon as... Aye.
Adrenaline dump.
Well,
I'm going to keep my cool here and go, what?
that's it. Once you get punched, you're like, alright, no, fuck you, let's go. You know what I mean?
That's when the hands go down.
Aye.
I think so.
Aye, that's true.
Bro.
That's it. It's hard to get motivated, you know, to beat somebody up these days until somebody, you know, pisses you off or cracks you in the mouth. Aye, that's it. Aye.
Playground shit, man, let's do this.
But aye, it's a big issue in the sport for sure. And
What I read about with the steroids was, because I thought, obviously, like I said to you, I thought about the growth hormone just to heal my arm and then come straight off it. Because obviously I went 3 months
aye.
where the doctor's saying to me, look, just give it time, it'll heal itself, it'll be better naturally, and it just never happened. And then people are saying that, like, getting this growth hormone, it'll just really speed up your recovery process. And I thought to myself, like, I looked into it as well. I think it was like, even after you come off it, you need to wait either 3 or 4 months or something like that until it's totally your system. South Africa, UFC, they test for steroids. Like, they do it randomly, but in the last 3 fights I've been tested at 2 of them.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's a good. I just thought
it's not worth the risk, is it?
Risking that,
No. Go through your whole career not taking something and get popped when you do. That'd be hilarious.
I've done it to fix my arm. I'm the least person that looks like I'm on roids. I'm the one that tested it. I don't know why they keep testing me. Like, let's get them tested. They wanted to test me. I'm in the back of that on the last fight. I'm lying with my broken arm, literally in the ambulance, right? And I've got the guys that with the piss test. Like, and Bianca, she's the girl that kind of runs everything for EFC. She's telling them to piss off, and these guys weren't taking a telling. Like, no, we need a piss test. She's like, look, he's lying here with a fucking broken arm. He's going to the hospital. He's going to be spending at least a night in the hospital. Like, piss off, you know what I mean? They're like, oh no, we need this test.
We need his piss now.
Did they make you take a test before you went?
No, she if it wasn't for her, she told them to fuck off. I'd have been having to kind of lean off the side of the stretch into this test. I'm like, beautiful, man.
whacking it out the side.
I mean, you think it was jacked up and just like won with a devastating knockout or something. Basically got held against the cage and I couldn't move this guy. You know what I mean? Like, I showed, if anything, lack of steroid strength. You know what I mean? I just couldn't get him off me.
Aye. It's a mad thing because I always used to just think to myself like, nah, people that take that, they're mentally weak. You know what I mean? And you should be able to, take over them mentally because they're needing an aid. Because me personally, like I never ever doubted myself in any fight. Like I've never ever thought to myself like, no, with what I've naturally got, like I need a hand. Like I've always went in it, whether I've lost or won. I've had my ass kicked a couple of times, and but I've never ever once thought to myself, oh, I can't beat this guy. Like, and I've never thought, oh, I need a help with this. Like I need some chemical help with this. I've just always thought, no, I'm going to train hard and beat this guy. And I just feel like how much you must have zero confidence in yourself if you're having to think to yourself, oh, I need this, I need that. Like these guys that are.
Problem is as well when you get up to a certain level, even shows like Bellator, especially that aren't tested.
Yeah.
Even like
or even doing day of tests that you can beat the
Well, they're not
test easily.
testing at all, Bellator.
No, these guys test. They'll test maybe like day of, and then you have to do send bloods and stuff like that. And
I know like ACB and Brave shows like that, they don't test.
They don't test.
They don't test at all. So basically their full roster's full of roiders. So
It's crazy.
If you're signed with that promotion, they're offering you good money, and the whole roster, your whole division is all on it.
Yeah.
Then basically you're
in a fight and a losing battle. Aye. You're in a bad spot.
Join them.
But even Bellator
Like in theory, you could go into these promotions companies and just use them to build your record on roids, and then
the problem is they're all on it though. So
aye. But to get as a way to get to the UFC eventually, like use these promotions that aren't testing.
But a lot of this when this happens with like these guys, you see them and then it happened to a lot of the guys in the UFC when they started testing properly. You just seen them drop off. Like Henan Barao was probably the worst example. He was like smashing everybody like a crazy wee angry Brazilian monkey, just knocking everybody out like vicious. Do you know what I mean? He was just springing onto people, and then he just looked like he lost his pop. And it happened to so many fighters. A lot of Brazilian fighters in particular.
I wonder if Jose Aldo as well. You think there's Jose Aldo on
it?
steroids?
I don't think so, man. I think because he showed that he still does what he does. Like in his last fight with Jeremy Stevens, and he's had good fights since then where he's no looked, like where he still looked himself.
Fights against Max Holloway, didn't like you said, against Conor McGregor.
I think that was just Max Holloway. Aye, I think he hit a bad run. I think he just hit a bad run. But I mean, you never know. Fuck. I mean, I would have if you'd said to me like, bet your life that Anderson Silva's not on steroids. I was 100% sure he wasn't. He's like kind of not a muscular build, but then he got popped twice. You know what I mean? Exactly. He got like popped for twice for steroids. My favourite fighter. Hey, shout out to Anderson. But I'm just like still a bit delusional with that, where I hold on to the hope that maybe he just done it because he was trying to heal his knee up, after his shin up after it broke. Because that was a bad
that was brutal
to come back to, and he tried to come back, and like, within 9 months he was trying to fight again when he'd snapped his fucking shin in half.
I can mind watching that live.
He was fighting again within like under a year, which is crazy considering. So I'm hoping it was just try to heal up an injury, and maybe that's what it's been. But it's a shame because it kind of clouds a lot of the rest of his performances and stuff. But see, at the end of the day, every other guy he beat was all roided out their head anyway. Vitor Belfort, TRT exemption, like he beat Super Vitor. That was when Vitor was like TRT Vitor. He was fucking jacked up with the big giant traps and ready to go down fucking the beach in Brazil, just like bodied up. Just bodied up, man. And he knocked him clean out, you know what I mean? Chael Sonnen, he beat Chael Sonnen twice full of the roids. Probably Damien Maia, but the only guy that wasn't on roids that he fought. Everybody else was jacked up anyway. Yushin Okama, he was on that fucking sushi, you know what I mean? He was on that super sushi.
Super sushi.
Yushin Okama, he was on that. He fought a lot of roided up guys himself, so it was, I don't think they'll ever get rid of it completely. But UFC's putting good steps in place, but they've kind of, I don't know, it seems like they've kind of muddied their waters a bit with the John Jones stuff and
the
picogram.
Oh man.
Picogram gate.
see, the thing is that John Jones thing has opened up to so many competitors in the UFC now. Kenny, to use bullshit excuses like that.
Well, they had that with the TRT exemption for a while. Oh, if you go to get a doctor, say that you've got low testosterone. Like, you can get low testosterone if you just train. Like, do a training session, your testosterone's low after it. You go to one of these doctors in America, they say you've got low testosterone all the time. They'll give you TRT exemption. You go to the UFC, I've got TRT exemption, and they were getting to use steroids legally. And then the same shit was happening with this picogram stuff. Is horrific, because I was listening to the podcast where whoever the guy
Nowitzki was in it.
Nowitzki, they call him the Golden Snitch, that guy. So he was basically talking about these short-term, long-term metabolites that are in there, right? So they were saying long-term metabolites for John Jones. So what's happening? Test 1 doesn't show up, test 2 shows up, test 1 doesn't show up, test 4 doesn't show up. You know, like, as they keep doing it, right? They're going through it, and it's showing up, not showing up, showing up, not showing up for some reason. And
they were saying like the pulsing effect. Basically, that's what they were trying to make a point of saying, weren't they? That the in the background it pulsates and shows and disappears and shows and disappears. And
these picograms.
Aye, these picograms. But scientifically,
what they were saying is it could have been to do with his hydration levels at a weight cut, so that's why it was showing sometimes and not showing others. But they're basically saying this could be in his system forever, so he's fine to do it. And then a bunch of like leading scientists have came out and said, no, this is a guy that's microdosing, which is a new thing that a lot of people are doing. They're taking like testosterone and other like steroids, designer steroids in small doses, so that, you know, what they're doing is they're taking really small amounts of it, trace amounts of it, still giving them like the effect and less of the side effects and stuff like that. So they're taking this shit in small amounts, and then, you know, they should be able to beat tests because it goes out your system a lot quicker because the minuscule amounts that they're taking. You know, they're not taking like, fuck, I don't know what people take, but big giant syringes or whatever. They're just taking really small amounts, so they're getting, you know, the benefits, and it's tiding them over. They're recovering quicker for training. But then, like, say like the way Bellator test like on the day. So they say that's like just an IQ test. Really, it's that easy to pass. That basically they're saying that if you go to a Bellator one, all you have to do is come off at a set period of time beforehand. But you could do your full camp, because they're not testing mid camp. Do your full camp, get all the benefits for taking this shit, and then you get to, like, as long as you come off it like a week before or something like that. I don't know what the time scale is, but there's a certain window for it passing, and you'll test clean.
Just testing as a formality, basically.
Exactly, yeah. Like,
just to make it look as if it's in place.
Yeah.
But the UFC didn't do themselves any favours with moving the fight from Vegas to California with the whole Jones thing as well.
That's right, aye.
You know what I mean?
Because that made it look a bit dodgy as well.
You know what I mean? Whether or not he's innocent or no, they're not doing him any favours.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing with Brock Lesnar was bad as well. That's what Mark Hunt went on about. You know, they were pretty sure that they knew that they gave Brock Lesnar the exemption. They made up a shitty reason for it. I can't even remember what it was at this point. They just made up a shitty reason for it, and then he still failed anyway. Like, so they knew, you know, they knew that what he was up to. They let him fight Mark Hunt.
Who was that? Was it to fight Mark Hunt?
Mark Hunt, Brock Lesnar, and then they just let him fight. And basically, that's what Mark Hunt was raging about. He just seen out his contract, and that was him done. He scunnered him with the sport, which is a shame. I mean, he knew, and he didn't do himself any favours either, because in the interviews before it, he's going, Brock Lesnar can take all the steroids. That's the worst accent ever, but Brock Lesnar can take all the steroids he wants, but he's like, it doesn't matter, I'm still going to knock him out and stuff like that. So, like, you can't really jump about saying he can take all the steroids he wants, and then when you find out that he's actually been taking those steroids, then you'd be like, oh, and why was he on steroids? But you just said fucking 2 interviews ago that you're quite happy to fight him for steroids. You were going to knock him out.
He was a tough motherfucker.
Super Samoan. He's a cool guy, man.
You've been in some absolute wars, man.
His story about, you know, how he got in the UFC was really cool. I don't know if you've heard that, but when they inherited the contracts with Pride, Dana White didn't want him to fight for them. He was like, nah, like, you've got kind of shitty record, we're not that keen on you. Even though he was like K1 Grand Prix champ, they had just said to him, well, how about we just pay you this and, like, you just don't fight for us, and try to, like, just buy out his contract, basically. They weren't that interested in fighting. He said, look, I'd rather no, he just basically said, I'd rather fight for free. He said, I want to fight with my contract. He's like, because he basically got offered the amount of money for all his fights that were left in his contract. They were going to just pay him that and say, like, don't bother fighting. But he said, no, I want to fight. That's what I like to do, and he ended up winning quite a few fights, and obviously got near enough title level, you know. When he was fighting like Fabricio Verdum and stuff, it was like one fight off a title shot. So he done pretty well, and he had some amazing knockouts, and really cool guy like Mark Hunt, you know.
Took some damage as well over the years, like.
Big tough Samoan man, aye. Definitely, it's hard as nails.
Aye, man, I can mind when Crocop kicked him square in, man, and dropped him, and you just see him getting back up. It was like something fucking Rising Dead.
Aye.
Just poked the beast there.
Like Tyson Fury.
Aye. Big Tyson Fury one was quality as well, to be fair. That was pretty cool. So what?
I've got the upcoming UFCs as well. When we're talking about UFC stuff, we've got Darren Till fighting Masvidal coming up.
What was the last few? Because we never got on Junior Dos Santos and the last card.
Yeah, we got that's right.
Finish up that last card.
Yep.
Aye. The main event was pretty cool. We had Derek Lewis, Junior Dos Santos. You didn't catch that?
I just tried to watch it there.
Aye, man, it wasn't long, was it?
Right. Aye. Second round.
Second round. Aye. Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Derek Lewis looked like he was playing possum, but he was just genuinely hurt.
What was wrong with him, man?
Spinning back kick. Spinning back kick right to the right to the solar plexus. What's that?
He done Hunt with the spinning back kick too. It's skiffy.
Oh, he came back with a reverse turn as well, aye. Derek Lewis has got a ridiculously fast lead leg high kick, man. It's like ridiculously fast for heavyweight. It's crazy, man.
He hit him with some crazy kicks in the first. I was just watching the...
It's because of the hot balls, man.
That was pretty cool.
Kill the bad boys down.
He's one of the maddest guys ever. He's a great character for the sport. Like,
he's funny.
He just likes to fight. Do you know what I mean?
He's there for a scrap.
His interviews and that are brilliant as well. But
I'm just going to attempt to watch this live. Just the end of this.
All right.
You just can keep chatting away, but
that's cool. That's cool.
I just want to see this.
So Junior Dos Santos starts, teeing off on him a bit, and he eventually then hits him with this reverse turn kick that comes up. It's pretty cool.
It was good to see Junior back in winning ways, though.
Well, that should get him a title shot. Derek Lewis was number 2, I think, before that fight. Number 2 in the world, aye. So Junior was about 6 or something like that. So
he dropped off a wee bit, man, after his last couple of fights. He took a couple of bad losses.
Well, that gets him right up there. He could get a shot with Daniel Cormier maybe. He's got to be in line for that. I don't know if there's any other heavyweights in line really, but I would say he was there, right there. The worst.
It's a hard fight for him, though.
Oh, definitely.
It's a really hard fight.
But he's got the hands. Like, he can end anybody with like an uppercut or a. He's substantially bigger than DC. You know what I mean?
He's a legit black belt as well.
Yeah, the problem you've got is what Cain Velasquez done to him. So like that's DC's main teammate, and he just needs to follow that blueprint. But at the same time, all he needs to do is land.
That's true, man. At that weight.
Yeah.
That weight, one shot.
You can't not like that guy. He's like the nicest guy in the world as well. See his post-fight interviews and stuff like that. I just like to fight for everybody. I hope you enjoy fight. Big smiley.
He used to bring that kid out with him.
Aye.
You mind he always had that little Brazilian kid.
Aye, that's right.
Like hang about the gym and stuff like that. And just watch Dos Santos. He used to say, well, I'll bring you on the biggest stage in the world.
Aye.
Quality, man.
World
It's
title
quality.
fights. He had this kid that he used to walk out on.
Man, I remember they done like when he was heading up for his first title shot. He's like, "This is my wife." She was like 30 years older than him, man. I was like, well, what is going on here, man? I don't know if it's still his wife, but it was like when he first got like a bit of fame. He's like, yes, this is my beautiful wife, and she looked like, I thought it was his mum, but he was like, no, it's my wife, man. It's a bit fucked up. Yeah, he tagged him, man. He's got these sharp hands. He tagged him. But Black Beast looked like he was trying to play possum, and
still throwing back, man.
He was throwing back, he was luring them in, but that's a really good thing to do at heavyweight. See if you can lure somebody in like that and they think, and just boom, their lights are out before you know it. If you can trick somebody, kind of drag them into your punches, it's really good for guys that have got good footwork and stuff if you can try and make them rush in and lure them in a wee bit.
So he catches him here, man.
Pretend you're hurt.
Oh, 315.
He's a real character. Yeah, a minute and a half into the second round.
There we go.
That's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool fight.
I've seen the fight now.
Cool. That pretty much covers last night's UFC, but it'd be good to see Junior get a title shot. I'd like that. It'd be cool if he could kind of regain it,
Looking forward to next week's UFC, London. Yeah.
London, yeah.
Oh, that's right, the hatchet's up.
Danny's up next
That'll be
week.
good.
Aye.
Oh, that's right, one of your teammates. Yeah.
Aye, that's right. Danny's fighting man, he's a bad man.
Right up for it.
Aye. Calum, you said you were speaking to him in the gym, eh?
I was with him yesterday. When was that? Today? I was speaking to him today, but I was speaking on Friday night. He was saying to me that this guy, he was he's just looking really sharp.
Intense.
Really sharp, intense. He's ready to go, like he's proper I said to him, I was like, what are you thinking for this fight? He said, I'm just fucking going out to kill this guy. And I kind of laughed, and he was like, no, I'm dead. He says, this guy says he's coming for my soul. He's not coming for my fucking soul.
So Dan Ige.
Danny Henry.
Danny says it.
No, it's Dan Ige. Is that who's fighting Dan Ige? I think that's the guy's name. Aye, 10-2.
I think he's a great grappler more.
Is he? Man.
Danny said, like, Jim's like to grapple him.
Danny's dangerous, man. Danny's dangerous. He's tough as fuck.
Dan.
See, even the past couple of years, like, basically since he was signed to UFC, his games just went shoot up through the roof.
He done his full fucking amateur career pretty much at welterweight as well, so he's bound to, like, if you've been a welterweight and fought all the best welterweights, you're going to feel like, I'm just going to bully these featherweights, do you know what I mean? He fought obviously lightweight pro and stuff as well, but he's as big as you can possibly get for featherweight, and like there's nowhere he's weak at all. He smash, he can tap you, he can submit you, he can drop you. He's fucking Muay Thai sharp. He mixes everything up well.
Really, it's probably been his biggest improvement for the last couple of years. Even
and his jiu-jitsu, man. His jiu-jitsu is fucking frightening.
Grappling, but when he was fighting Cabeza twice and then fought like both and stuff, that's what he said to me. That's where he was really hammering his wrestling, especially for the Cabeza fights. Like, so he properly just focused on wrestling. And now he actually says to me that he didn't used to like wrestling very much. Now it's probably one of his favourite things that he likes doing.
His favourite tools, aye.
He proper loves wrestling.
Aye, that's quality.
And you can see it just everywhere in his game. Like, if you try and get, he's solid. Like, it's brutal to try and take down the.
Yes.
Mario.
Really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to watching the Hatchet with 3-0 next week.
Yes. Shout out to the Hatchet. I was talking about trying to get him on the show. Probably get him on like after he smokes the guy, maybe in a couple of weeks or something like that, because he'd be pretty crab at the now with the weight cut, I'd imagine. And like I know what that's like.
The best he said it's ever been.
Aye.
He
seems to doesn't let anything bother him, man. He's like his meant.
This week he says loaded up in carbs.
It's awesome. That's awesome.
Still cuts a lot of weight.
He's a big unit, like, but he's as mentally tough as you're ever going to get in a fight or two. Aye. Danny's a guy that shows up always on the day as well. Like, you'll never get him and he doesn't show up. You know what I mean? He's always going to show up and fucking put it on the guy. You have to kill him to put him out of there. You know. What about his fight in the debut fight in the UFC when he fought?
That was a war.
He fought that dude in UFC Glasgow. He took the fight when he was injured. Like.
What was the boy's name again?
David. Is it David?
David and Daniel.
David and Daniel.
Swedish guys. David and Daniel.
So bad, man. So bad. And Daniel.
No, it's not coming.
Aye.
They're kickboxers, eh?
Aye, that's right, man. He just soaked up what the boy had for him and then dished it back out. That's it.
I've seen Danny do that a few times, mind you. He did the exact same with Boyd Allen.
Stevie Ray, he does that shit, man. Remember fucking when he fought Scotty Ward?
That's right.
That was unbelievable. That was still one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. Like, he took that fight when, like, technically he was probably nowhere near Scott's level, and then just, like, soaked up the tank until he burnt himself out and then gave him it back. That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
That was when he was in a tight armbar, eh? He was in a really, really tight armbar.
I think that was another fight, man. He had his back took, he was getting pounded and stuff, and he just soaked it up. He just kept fighting. Man, Stevie Ray's had as bit of special rise as you'll ever get to the top. Yeah. Because he just fought everybody, like anybody that would ever fight him. Like, he was going down to, he had 7 amateur fights or something like that, and I think he went 7-0 like within about a year, and then
8-0. 1 year he had 11 fights.
Well, it was something ridiculous. Aye.
Like every single month.
Aye. He went pro rapid as well, and he was just like, right, okay, fight anybody. He was away to fucking Abu Dhabi and shit fighting, and he fought all the best. He was trying to fight all the best guys in Scotland, and it was like a big thing at the time. He no longer
basically just fighting Cage Warriors. Edge MMA. It was a lot of gym in Kirkcaldy.
Aye, training himself pretty much. Aye.
A big guy, Joe. I think it was
Joe Gowans, and there was another guy as well that was like their coach. He was like an old school kind of martial artist dude as well that was teaching him. But he was just hard as nails, man. Hard as nails and good everywhere. Like athletically really gifted as well. Like really gifted. And like to have that kind of strength and flexibility.
Squeeze he's got is. Even the day I was a victim of that. He put me in a body triangle, just a basic body triangle, and I was ready for tapping just to the body triangle.
I was talking to, he does that thing nude where he does it side on, eh? Aye, that's right. It's horrible.
Side on, it really crushes your full inside ribs.
He said he'd been working on that last time I spoke to him. But my wee brother was talking to me about it today. Stevie was saying about He's probably the best MMA fighter I've ever trained with. I'd say Stevie Ray. Like just in terms of like the way that he thinks and stuff like that as well. Like really, really, really high fight IQ. Like with fainting, and he's doing stuff all the time to make you react and think, and mixing his wrestling with his striking and his jiu-jitsu, and you're just like he mixes everything. So he's just really, and then like, and the fact he's hard as nails, he's like, you know what I mean? So you throw all that in, there's not any area. And that just shows you how tough it is in the UFC, man. People just didn't understand how tough it is.
What is Stevie 6-3 or something like that in the UFC?
Aye, which is amazing. Which is amazing. But you've got when you think like that, and then you think, how good are these guys? At the best guys in the world. You know what I mean? Like, it's unbelievable that you can train that hard. You can put your life into it, and you've got all the best attributes. Like, I can't think any better attributes than what Ray's got. And then still, sometimes it doesn't get you the wins. You know, the result, and it's mental. You know. Yeah. But I mean, lightweight and featherweight and even welterweight to an extent are just like creating, and lower than that as well. The divisions are just unbelievable. You know what I mean?
Doesn't matter what division you're in the UFC.
I think particular though, like featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight.
Below, sort of thing. See, lightweight below, they're just the amount of guys eat, but especially between I think featherweight
and lightweight. It's the busiest divisions.
Feather and light. I think that's the busiest divisions.
There was stats on it recently. I can't remember how many they had signed to the roster.
Especially I'm sure the
lightweight's the busiest. It is,
stacked division in the UFC.
It's got
a
ridiculous.
Signed in lightweight. If you're light heavyweight or heavyweight, there's a good chance, and you go maybe like 7 or 8-0 or something like that. There's a good chance.
Oh man, you've got a chance of getting to fucking the UFC with. Like, we've just been bang average as a heavyweight, if you're even half decent, because there's just not that many good guys out there. Like the heavyweights, and you know,
to get signed as a lightweight or a featherweight, you've really got to be
elite. Like, you've got to just be absolute elite, and you've got to get a good run and a bit of luck as well.
Some guys get signed, but then to actually be able to stay in the UFC.
That's it.
Maybe 6 or 7 fights. Like, a lot of guys will maybe have 2 or 3 fights and they get dropped. And then they just say, well, I fought in the UFC.
For sure.
Amazing achievement. But to stay in the UFC is
it's something else, whole different ballpark, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Have to boost anyway, lads.
Okay. Baz can steal your seat. We're going to go into a bit of SGI chat.
Oh, that's cool.
Aye, can I get a meringue as well, man?
I leave those cakes with that.
Oh no, my tea. You got something to wake up.
What happened? You dropped your tea?
My tea, man. Meringue, Baz. Cheers, man.
Do you want a meringue, Mark?
Please.
Baz, you want it?
Better just that.
Guys, you want it?
Aye, man. I'll take one for the journey home.
Meringues.
Thanks very much, Lorraine.
Hey, lads.
Yeah. Cheers, Lorraine. That's what I say when I borrow Lorraine's AA cover. The amount of breakdowns Lorraine saved me for the days. It's unbelievable. Lorraine pays for Calum's AA service, right?
You better not say that.
And I must have used it at least 10 times when I broke down. Lorraine has saved me so many times for breakdown.
I've actually dropped you off for the car a couple of times.
That's right.
Yeah, this is Mr. Murrie.
10-second rule.
We've got this UFC card as well.
Who else is on the London card?
You've got Irish Joe Duffy, who beat Conor McGregor.
Who's he fighting?
He's fighting a guy, Mark
Casey is a good fighter, man.
Yeah, there you go. I'm glad you jumped in on that one there.
You weren't going to pronounce that right,
that right up.
Aye. Yeah, that would be really cool. Matt Casey, I think he's coming off a loss, so he prefers to strike, so he'll be fighting Joe Duffy, so that would just be a proper striker match, you know.
Yeah.
What else we got? Tom Breeze fighting, he's just coming back for his first loss, I think. He should be able to, he'll be probably looking to smash somebody, because everybody always talks about him, about how good he is and how good his grappling is, so that'll be interesting. Danny Henry quite early in the card, 10-2 versus Danny Henry 12-2. What an amazing record, man, considering every single fight Danny's had's been a hard fight.
Here you go.
What else we got here?
You've got Dominic Reyes as well, higher up in the card.
Nadna Minari, he's a good fighter as well. Paul Reed's team, but he trains with Alpha Male as well. That'll be a cool fight. He's fighting Mike Grundy. That should be decent.
Paul Reed's gymmed in Bristol.
Yeah, I'm sure he trains under Paul. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Danny Roberts, that'll be a cool fight. Fighting Brazilian dude Jack Marshman versus John Thoughts. That'll be a cool fight for sure. Arnold Allen, he's been smashing it in the UFC. That'll be cool to see.
13-1.
Can you bring up Arnold Allen's record there? Is that there?
Aye.
See, he was he's on like a really good run in the UFC.
So UFC wise, He's beaten Alan Omer.
Oh, do you know who his last loss was? Marcin Wowciak.
Oh, was it?
Him that fought Adam Stevenson years ago.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man.
He was an absolute animal,
He was
that
an
guy.
animal, man. That was that was some fight, that, to be fair, man. Adam was in an absolute war with that dude.
Adam's tough as nails, man. That was a crazy fight to watch.
What show was it on?
On top.
Was it on top? I'm sure it wasn't Vision. It might have been Vision in Glasgow, man.
I could be wrong.
It was either or. It was one of them. It was Vision or on top.
I think it was on. Yeah, I think it was on top because I'm sure Marcin was signed by on top at the time.
Oh, well, I was trying to do some time in that.
Metza as well. Yeah, it's in Metza.
So what's that 4-fight win streak in the UFC?
4, yeah.
Pretty amazing. He's fighting featherweight, I think. Arnold Allen, yeah. I think so. But that'll be a cool fight, man.
Aye, featherweight.
He's getting all the best UK guys on, so that's pretty cool to see.
Almighty Arnold Allen.
Still quite a young guy, I think, as well.
25.
Sure he trains out in TriStar.
Yeah.
Let's see who else we've got. Oh, there's Dominic Reyes versus Volkan Ozdemir. That'll be cool. That Volkan guy's quite strange.
There's Demir.
Knocks out the clinch.
Is that it's the guy that bounces about like that? Is that
There's off 2 losses there as well.
Yeah. He got beat for Lionheart.
Cormier.
Cormier and Lionheart. Anthony Smith.
Aye.
That was bad.
I think I watched that one, man. I didn't see that Anthony Smith one.
Yeah, DC doesn't get some of the credit it deserves, man.
I just love that he's like fat and low ripped.
It's the dad body, man.
Makes videos eating chicken and shit. It's pretty cool. Where's the rest of that card?
Best things you can get in social media, man.
Who else we got in it?
Leon Edwards, Gunnar Nelson.
Leon, as in Leon Rocky Edwards. That tough dude, like.
Yeah.
He is a tough dude, man.
That'll be an amazing fight.
Who's he fighting?
He's fighting Gunnar Nelson.
Gunnar Nelson.
Is he?
I watched the press conference for that, and he looked like he was more interested in fighting Darren Till than Edwards. So
He definitely does not want to sleep on Gunnar Nelson.
Oh no.
Gunnar Nelson gets mount on you and it's game over. You see his last fight? Beautiful.
We were talking about that the other week.
He just fucking cool as a cucumber, man. He gets mount and he just picking him apart, dropping elbows, just chipping away, just not in a rush, ready to just finish it when the time comes.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing.
I like Gunnar Nelson.
There's karate where you do blocks as well as like striking. I don't know what it's got, something like Rue.
No, is it? I know he stands in a karate stance a lot of the time.
With the white hands.
He hits people with that karate kind of burst quite a lot.
By the blitz.
Pretty cool.
He's grappling, though, man. He's MMA grappling something else.
His grappling's frightening. He's passing and that looks amazing always.
It's Molinari, Jim, isn't it? That's right, that's what he's got.
Moliner, yeah.
Yeah, one of the guys I trained me through it now, like with Tommy, he's fighting one of their guys now.
Cool.
That should be a cool match, like.
Yeah, they travel a lot to fight.
Yeah, oh yeah, they come in Scotland quite a bit, didn't they?
I refereed Headhunters when they
crumbs, man.
call me the messy monster.
Super crummy.
The messy monster there.
Getting super crummy in here.
They refereed I refereed a fight when Gunny brought some boys over. He came up to me beforehand, he must have had like a question or whatever. And he's like, came up to me as if I wouldn't know who he was. He's like, hey, I'm Gunny. I don't know why he speaks like that, but people from Iceland do speak like that. He's like, hey, I'm Gunny. And I'm like, I know who you are. Like, fucking fanboy moment, do you know what I mean? Watch out your videos, man, they're quality. But I was asking some shit, but it was pretty cool. They always bring really good guys over.
Is it you that fought one? Was Calum
beat one of his best guys, best amateurs. Calum beat the guy must have been thinking, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Because Calum beat him in like a really fucking tough fight, like out grappled him 3 rounds, decision. And then after it, it's when me and Calum had the whole X Factor going strong. So
that's right.
We ended up singing in the cage after it. Aye. So literally this guy's just been beat. He's flew all the way from fucking Iceland. He's thinking like, you know what I mean, fucking probably the worst losses he's had. I don't know, I can't remember if he was undefeated at the time, but I think he was, the guy. And next thing you know, your opponent that's just beat, he's singing in the cage, do you know what I mean? Saying that he doesn't really want to be a fighter, he wants to make it on the X Factor and win the X Factor. And
you realise that just wasn't Scotland's first, that's probably the world's first MMA fight that's been topped off with a tune at the end of it.
Aye,
you know,
it's Manny Pacquiao-esque, or Tyson Fury likes a wee sing-song after. You ever heard Manny Pacquiao sing? Is there any way we can get Manny Pacquiao singing in the background here?
We could probably watch it.
Just like even a wee clip.
Oh my days.
Is he a chanter?
Oh, aye. You need to hear Manny Pacquiao sing.
Singing what?
If you've not heard Manny Pacquiao, just anything, Manny Pacquiao post-fight song.
Oh, man.
And honestly, like, because the Philippine people love him so much, the Filipino people love him so much that they're actually crying in that when he's singing. Like, they're like, Manny's such a good singer.
Man, when you hear it, you'll cry. When you...
They're writing Manny Pacquiao post-fight. Song doesn't seem to come up as one of like the top results.
No, just song. Just put song in. It will come up.
It will come up.
Right, here we go.
They love him, man. They absolutely
love him. Oh, they do.
Post Pacquiao. Here's one's come up. Pacquiao post-fight concert. 9 years ago. Concert.
It's beautiful.
It's not even like a song.
No, it's not a song. It's a concert. It's an event.
A full set.
Just done 12 rounds. I'm packed up and I'm off to do a gig.
The boxing secondary.
Yeah, I remember. I went to train at Extreme Couture in Vegas, and I was getting this wee taxi driver gave me, like, he took me there and he charged me way more than he should have ever charged me, and I ended up I don't know, a wee bit just because I can't actually hear it, but just until he starts singing. But we went. I got the taxi driver, took us out to Extreme Couture, and he fucked up where he was meant to take us. So it ended up costing me like $100 and odd, all the money I had with me to get there. And I was like, fucking hell, this is brutal. So I got there, I only had enough money for like an apple and that. I trained for the full day, and then I popped the ligament in my knee, like trying to go plata guy showing off to Vinny Magalesh. So what happened was the guy that dropped me off was a Filipino taxi driver. And he said to me, pause that for a second. So the Filipino taxi driver says to me, he was like, look, I'll come back for you. He says, I'm sorry it cost so much money. I really didn't mean to, like, because it was on the meter. He was like, I'm sorry, I just didn't find the place properly. He said, I'll come back in my own car when I'm finished my shift and pick you up. So I was like, I'll finish about 4:30. I said, I'm training the full day. He went, right, no worries, I'll come back and get you. But I thought it was just bullshit, you know. Vegas is,
see him, man,
Vegas is a land of cons. So, like, I finished my session, you know, my knee was starting to set in. It was really bad. I heard it pop in the session. I'm like fucking limping back, and I was miles and miles and miles away from the strip where my hotel was. So I start walking back, and I've got my bags and all that. I've got like an apple and a banana, a glass of water, and that's it. A bottle of water, and I'm walking. And sure enough, man, I was going through this bad neighbourhood, and folk were driving past shouting shit at me and stuff, saying you shouldn't be here. And the guy come and picked me up, and he's like, he says, hey man, he's like, hey man, he said, I told you to wait for me, and he came back, and sure enough, he came back in his own car.
And he was looking for you, man.
Drove about looking for me, picked me up. Picked me up, and he's like, come in, and he said, and like I said, look, I've not got any money left to give you. And he says, it's okay, I charged you too much, and the way here I got lost, and I was like, that's fine. And he says, look, do you want me to buy you a burger and that? It was nice. And he says, if you want, he goes, I'll take you to Grand Canyon tomorrow. Like, really nice Filipino guy. He says, you fighter. He says, you like Manny Pacquiao? He says, we love Manny Pacquiao because he's for the Filipinos. I said, aye. He says, yes, we love Manny Pacquiao. He says, I have nice niece. He goes, I have nice niece if you don't have girlfriend. And that's what he started saying. If you don't have girlfriend, I have nice niece, not married. And he was trying to get me married to his niece and that. But it's unbelievable. That's just how they operate, these Filipinos, man. But they were really nice people, man. Really nice.
They love Manny. I think it's because Manny does so much for them, Manny. Because I think he used to split a lot of his purses and that and put it back into the country and back in his village, especially. I think.
Aye, did for sure. That's why they love him. Do you know what I mean? Win or lose, the Filipino people were.
Sing, man.
Aye. So let's hear it. Are we ready to hear
Ready for this?
Ready to hear his golden voice. Come on, Manny.
I don't know if everyone else can hear this, but the video's called Manny Pacquiao Sings at Post Fight, right? But we're just going to watch this and enjoy this. Here we go.
If you can't hear it, you'll probably be able to tell by your reactions how good it is.
Oh fuck.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's struggling.
He's getting all emotional.
Jesus.
Fuck, man.
Man, get him signed.
That's amazing. Hey.
Well,
that was absolutely beautiful.
Brilliant.
It's like, come to the MGM Grand, watch me punch the face off somebody and listen to me chant.
That was absolutely beautiful,
A beautiful
man.
Filipino love song there.
They call him the songbird of his generation.
Yeah. So you need to watch that. Manny Pacquiao sings it post-fight on YouTube.
I think he actually made up the lyrics on the spot as well.
It's actually got a disappointing 1,353 views. I would have thought that would have been up in the millions, but
that deserves more. I'm going to try and bring up the SGI card on my phone here.
Next weekend, man. I'm
yes.
looking forward to it.
Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got.
As well. That's so class.
That's cool, eh?
Hopefully they all get rash guards.
Man, that'll be minted.
The Warriors.
See, well, you got that. Who you got for telling Masvidal?
Telling Masvidal. I'm going with Till. I think that fight's picked out for Till to win.
For Till to win.
It's a favourable match for him. Masvidal's got good wrestling, but I don't think he's big enough to be taking Till down. Till's got like the better striking.
As well.
Masvidal's got better volume, but he's substantially bigger, I think, than Masvidal, and he hits harder. Don't get me wrong, Masvidal is like one of the guys that doesn't take a fight unless he's like pretty certain he can win. Like I'm sure he fucked up Cowboy not that long ago, and he was like super confident beforehand. I'll need to listen to what he's got to say.
Cowboy's face.
Maya and Thompson beat him last.
Well, remember he was like a backyard fighter. Like he done the Kimbo Slice stuff. Jorge Masvidal. He was like he was fighting like backyard bare knuckle. If you watch what's that documentary called? It was
the BKB one.
No, it was like Fight World or something like that. It was Fightland. Was it? Was it Fightland? It was Kimbo Slice's one.
Aye, that 5,000 thing.
That's right. Aye.
Dada.
Yeah,
5,000.
that's it. It was Dada 5,000 Kimbo Slice, and Jorge Masvidal actually, like you can see him really young in his career. He fights in that. He's like a proud Cuban fighter, Masvidal. A lot of the guys in Florida, obviously you get a lot of Cubans going to Florida because it's just over the water.
Motherfucker, man. But I just think Till just might be a wee bit too much for him, man.
I think Till's probably too much for him. I think Till as well is going to be real hungry, but there's also a lot of pressure on him. There's a lot of pressure on him, fighting in his hometown after what happened with Woodley. Like after that was the biggest fight of his life that he'd been waiting for all his days, and it
went really bad for him.
It went really bad. It went as bad as it can go. He never landed a punch. He got stroked out for Woodley very early after doing all that talking. So, but it seems to be a lot of respect between him and Masvidal for this fight, and he's said nothing but good things about him, and that takes a bit of the pressure off. I think he can just concentrate and go on to perform. There's no bad blood. There's no pressure. There's other than being in his hometown. Do you know what I mean? It's going to help a bit. But it's still, his main event and not his hometown, but London, still home country. Do you know what I mean? Home country. So, be pretty cool.
That would be a cool fight. Should be a good fight.
It's funny though. I've spoke to a lot of people for Liverpool, and it's weird. It's like weird the British culture compared to the Irish culture, because all the people for Liverpool I spoke to, they're just talking shit about fucking Till.
Really?
Oh, really?
Just talking shit about him, like,
oh yeah, right behind him.
You would have thought that, but they're like, no, he thinks he's this, he thinks he's that, he's trying to be the next. Honest, it just shows you, like, because Scotland and Britain in general can be so much like that. Somebody tries to do well for himself, and they're just like, oh, fuck that person, they're trying to do well for himself. But in Ireland, obviously, they get behind their people a bit more. Do you know what I mean?
That's a bit much, man. But then again, I suppose it depends on what side of the Mersey.
Aye.
He's a staunch Liverpool fan, as they know, or whatever side because they're quite Liverpool, Everton orientated.
Aye. It's weird how that works. I had that in Dublin the other week with a taxi driver. He literally told me every single thing Conor McGregor's like in the papers for, done in his life, where he grew up, like everything about him, like it was his best pal, but he's just like talking shit on him. He told me some crazy stories about the mob over there and stuff. Like apparently this, you might have heard the character, some bank robber dude. I mean, you could probably Google it and see if it's real, but there was like some bank robber called the Monk or something. He had done a hit on this other guy, this fucking, all these criminal kingpins and that. He's telling me the full story. It was best, honestly, it was best taxi ride I've ever had. It was a bit fucking.
So one of the ones getting the taxi is, all right, mate, how's your night been?
That's you for 3 years, detours and shit.
Crazy. And then, like, it got awkward halfway through because he was like, talking about fighting, he went, that's bloody barbaric, that fighting, and that. He started saying, he said, it's absolutely barbaric. I just kind of started laughing. I was like, huh. And he was like,
must have not seen you.
And then he's maybe, I don't know, he's maybe clocked it, and I just started laughing. He went, oh, is that what you do? And I was like, I says, yeah, that's what I do. It's my favourite. This is my favourite thing in the world, you know. And he was like, oh, I think it's barbaric. I went to a couple of the fights before, and the guy beat the shit out of him. I said, aye, that happens sometimes, but sometimes it's really beautiful, and like it's just slick and everything's perfect, and you know what I mean. It's no always two guys just beating each other to death, you know what I mean. But so he was talking all this shit about that, and he was mad, man. He was going on about God, and he started saying like, he says, oh, these fighters have got too big egos and everything. He says, you know what ego is? And I was like, what? He says, edging God out. He says, edging God out, and they think they're the gods. That's what he's talking about. And I was like, all right.
You're just like, I'm just wanting to get to my fucking hotel.
But meanwhile, man, the guy was clearly pissed out his head while driving the taxi. He was fucking steaming, man. 100%. He had the alky nose and everything. He'd clearly been drinking because he took an interest and he was saying, oh, do you drinking that? I said, no, I don't drink anyway, mate. And he was like, oh, you don't drink? He got really interested then, you know, because so I could tell that I picked up on that he had a bit of a problem on alcohol, the guy, you know. And he was super paranoid. He's like, make sure you put your seatbelts on, like doing everything, like driving way below the speed limit. I think he was pissed, and he was driving and he had a real problem with the drink. But, I've got this lineup here, man, for the card. So
you got it.
Yeah, there's been some changes to it as well. Is that the updated one?
I hope so.
There's a couple been put in because Dylan's in there now as well.
That's right. If they're not there, I'll check it.
Is Darren no fighting
what the fuck?
Team boss?
Wait a minute here.
Maybe
I think they've not. They've not updated it. I think. Right, so we've got. I'm in the 4-man, so I'll start with that. That's going to be fun.
That will be fun, man. Are you looking forward to that?
I'm looking forward to always. It's fun grappling. Don't have to lose any weight or anything like that. It's just go in and have fun. Chris McGee for 10th Planet, good guy. Those guys have always got pretty solid leg locks, good defence to everything. They're usually got a bit of flexibility game, rubber guard stuff. Ollie was meant to be in it. I don't know what happened, but he's no longer in it. Jack Brown. No, Jack was in it anyway. Jack Brown was in it anyway. He's one of Marcos's guys. I got a chance to roll him fairly recently. He's a really good guy as well, so should be pretty solid. I think the announcement for who gets who first is tomorrow. So I'll know who I've got in the first round tomorrow at some point, which is cool. And then they brought whatever happened. Somebody got Ollie was out, and then Jack Dickinson got put in for TFT. Yeah. So he's shit hot, man. For what I've heard, I know he beat Stevie Way in a recent ADCC, and I know that he's beat Charlie before in a competition. I think that it was quite. I'll need to rewatch that, but I think it was quite competitive, to be fair. So apparently he's got like really good leg locks and big tall dude, big for the weight and stuff like that for under 80 kilos. So that should be interesting.
Cool comp, man.
You know me, I just like to have fun, man. That's it. Go out and see what's there. Doesn't really matter, just see what happens, you know what I mean? But there's loads of cool. Oh, fucking hell, is it? I wonder. Right, I'm going with this card that's still on the website, so if I'm wrong on any of these, then, you know, I'm wrong and sorry, but there's a lot that are looking really interesting. So the main one, I think, is we've got under 85 title match, which is Kevin McAloon versus Tristan Ribeiro.
That's cool.
That'll be amazing because, you know, Tristan, I've watched him in some grappling comps and he looks solid. You know, he's pretty relentless, competes regularly, good at everything. And then you've got Kevin, who's also super active, solid everywhere. There's no really any areas that you would see and think, oh, you know, you're going to exploit anything there. So
it'll be a good grapple, man.
Be interesting.
I watched Cammy and for the grappling comp last week
versus Kevin. They had about 3 matches, I think, with each other.
Man, it was cool. It was cool. The two of them, they're both really good. That'll be a good match. That'll be a really good match, actually.
So it'll be cool. Hopefully, I don't know if I'm done before or after that, but I'd like to chill out and watch that. That'd be cool.
Watch them all.
Number 1 contender match for the under 70 kilo title. That'll be quite cool. That's Shawnee Stewart versus Dino Begg.
Alright, cool. That's cool.
That's going to be pretty cool.
That will be a good roll. That will be a good roll. Man, I can never make my mind up what Shawnee rolls it, because he rolled me at under 65, so I don't actually know what he walks about, man, but he's a good roll.
He's definitely looks a bit heavier lately because he's been competing heavier and doing well, so because he done that under 70 tournament and he done really well in that. So
is this his first outing as a brown belt, man? Or?
No, I think he's had one since then. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I'm sure he's competed once since then.
Man, that would be another interesting roll.
Yeah, you've got Mark Young versus John Humphreys. That's going to be cool. John Humphreys he's a good guy. He's like old school, man. He was went against Billy Bedlam years ago. They fought each other. I'm sure it was him that fought Mad Bartek. You remember Bartek?
Oh, aye.
And Bartek kicked him in the head when he was in the ground. Aye. And then done like this. Done like this slit throat after it and celebrated like he'd won, but he'd actually got disqualified. He was fucking mental, man.
That's right, man. I like Mark.
See, I think it's pretty safe to say he was on the horse meat. Like, in fact, actually, that was the first time I heard of what steroids actually, because fucking I'm sure it was like Jamie Foxx and was pally with him at the time. I'm sure Jamie told me like he used to cocktail steroids, so he'd take all these different kinds and fucking inject himself with them and that. And I was like, are you kidding me on, man? And he's just fucking crazy angry guy.
Mad.
Aye, that's right.
So Humphreys against Mark Young.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool role, man. Mark's another cool. It's like Cumnock again. Another Cumnock tough guy.
If I miss anybody here, it's just because not really commenting too much if I don't know too much about both guys, but this one will be cool as hell. Alan Johnson versus Conor McLean. So AJ, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in fight sports. Just a big absolute gentleman, tough as fuck. If you ever wanted to beat a dude that was in the UFC recently, a German guy, if you ever want to watch one of the coolest comeback fights you'll ever see, check on the On Top page for Alan Johnson. You'll see him surviving dash choke after dash choke after dash choke, and among other things, and then coming back, and the guy tries to be smart and drops his hands up against the cage to kind of slip punches. AJ lets rip with a Tekken combo, man, and just puts him out cold right in the chin.
I think that was a highlight reel for ages for on the top.
It was frightening, man. That was like, this guy's a bad man, but
yeah, tough dude.
Yeah, but he's actually one of the nicest people you ever meet. Just a real fucking gentleman. Yeah.
What weight's that one?
Under 95. So AJ obviously used to fight at welterweight, so he's a big guy now. But I mean, I like to grapple heavier. I used to fight at featherweight and I'm grappling under 80, so that's
no big and cutting weight for these things.
Nah, what's the point? Next we got Mark Young and John Humphreys. I spoke about that. So we spoke about John Humphreys, his background, but Mark Young, he's been about for a while, you know what I mean? He's
10-year minimum. I've known him since the day we got into this, man.
Aye, definitely. He fought Jim Miller, remember, years ago. That's right.
That Mark Young who was in the content, the PowerPoint.
Yes.
He fought Jim Miller.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Long time ago.
Aye. He's a hard motherfucker for Cumnock.
He's tough, man.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He can tell you a few stories too.
Aye. He's like I say, just old school MMA, fight anybody. You don't really get guys like that anymore, to be honest, but just still competing as much as you can. Class act, man. Really cool guy.
Man. That'll be cool. That'll be a good role. Two of the guys are brown belts, eh? Am I right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're both brown belts, man. Nate for the grip. Going to be fighting Gordon Price. I'm saying fighting, grappling. I hate when people say fighting, but grappling Gordon Price. That'll be cool. Nate's obviously a really, really good grappler. I don't think I've actually had a chance to roll with him myself, but I hear like really good things about him all the time.
Smashed me a few times.
Aye, cool. He's going against Gordon Price. Gordon Price, he used to fight MMA. Good grappler. I'm sure he's still a purple belt, but he may be a brown belt because he's been training for a while. He's still part of Marcos's team, from what I understand. So, because he was. I think he was maybe fought once for the hit squad or something like that. So. When that kind of whole they got together. So he's really good, solid everywhere. He's had some cool matches in the past.
Yeah, interesting match.
Definitely. Should be cool to see. Who else we got here? Cammy Nicol versus Ashley 2 from SBG Mori. So that'll be cool, man. Cammy will go against anybody always, you know.
Tough dude,
aye. I think that's a lighter weight for Ashley. He usually competes heavier than that, so that's pretty cool that he's took that matchup as well. But yeah, Cammy's a beast, man. He's a really, really solid grappler, great wrestling and stuff like that. So that'll be cool to watch as well. Under 85 for that. Then we've got Jack Von Williamson. I've competed against him a few times, and I rolled with him a few times recently, fairly recently, the grip, and he's like really, really good. He's come on completely. Like, he's like totally different to when I competed with him. He's fucking. He nearly caught me with like a flying guard pass armbar. Actually, it was quite cool. And then I watched his match with. He recently went against Tristram, and they had a crazy 10-minute, like, just all over each other. It was like,
Was that the last?
it was like 1 or 2 ago, but it was razor thin. You know, it could have went either way, and he looked brilliant in it. So that was really cool. And it's cool when you see guys keep, you know, making
Just
huge improvements like that. So he's going against dude Philbin BJJ. Powell, sorry if I butcher this, Cezina, I'm going to say, but so I don't know too much about. So it'll be interesting to see that one. We've got our mate Thomas Nelson.
Yes.
Up against somebody you competed against before, guys. Lewis Penny, aye.
It's a cool match.
Because
That'll be a cool match.
yeah. So you'll probably know more about this than anybody else considering, so I'll let you speak a bit.
I'll speak up for wee Lewis, because he took that fight. I was going to have done the same as you. He took that match literally for kind of a week and a half or something against me. So fair play, man. Thomas, however, man, you know how I feel about Thomas as well.
Aye.
Boys, man. So I feel Thomas will be too much for him.
Aye.
I definitely feel Thomas will be too much for him, but it'll be a good one to see. It's no one you'd want to miss.
Pretty much you as well. You've trained with him since you started, Baz, Thomas?
Aye, man. Aye, it's really good.
Aye.
I don't think anybody can put me in the truck because he's did it to me so many.
He's wild, man. He's
mental shit. The sunset flip was worth the choke play.
I would not be surprised if he had some crazy shit planned as well, because Tam's the sort of guy that like gets quite excited about these showcases.
He loves the crowd, man.
Aye, he is. He is, man. He's like an old school wrestling guy. He likes to do something a bit different. So I think it'll be cool to see him perform a bit and you know, I'll tell you something, man. He's a tough role. You know, he's a good purple belt, Tam.
He always puts it on the line, man.
Aye.
Always puts it on the line.
I roll with him regularly, and he's very hard to do anything with, and particularly his defense is really good. He'll do unorthodox stuff that you're not used to people doing. So that'll be a really cool role, and fair play to Lewis, because he's clearly just wants to compete, and young guy, and
with the flan shit.
they're just going to be so expect that one just to be some mad grappling.
I wouldn't be going to the bar for that one anyway.
Nah,
quite a good one to have a wee swatch.
Yeah, that should be pretty cool. Lorenzo Parenti's up. That'll be quite cool. He seems to have got pretty good in his grappling recently.
He was again. I seen him at the grappling 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he competes regular.
Looked really good. Looked really good. Hungry, man. He seems to be hungry at the Jiu-Jitsu MMA.
I've seen him sub quite a few folk at MMA. He got a good wrestler for the MXP. What's the boy's name? Commonwealth boy.
Well, Gareth.
I used to take him up for the big slam, man.
Oh, did he?
And Lorenzo just kept fishing for the neck.
Right.
Pretty sure that's
I did not armbar him. He maybe actually armbarred him.
I think that was Gareth's first MMA fighter.
Aye.
MMA fight.
Oh, he picked him up, man. Took him for a ride a few times.
Aye. Because typically, I'm sure I've refed a couple of his fights actually. I refed. Aye, his corner's very passionate, but I think he's actually changed who he's doing his training with mostly, and it's probably changed, you know, with the trajectory of his career, which is good.
Let's be realistic. If he's putting on the line every time, he's out competing, fair play, man, and I think he's winning. He's doing well for what I'm gathering at the comps and that. So it should
never back down.
It should be a good match. Yeah.
Definitely, man. We've got Kenny competing. Is he still competing? Aye, against Andy Baker. That should be cool.
Gritty old man.
That's a gi match, isn't it?
No gi, I think.
Is it no gi?
Pretty sure it's no gi, despite what Kenny thinks.
Fair enough. It says gi. It does say gi. Aye. No, it's a gi match. It's a gi match under 80. Yeah. So that suits them both.
It'll actually be a cool role to watch you two, man.
Aye, Kenny's a tough guy, man. That's for sure. I like Kenny, man.
I like him too. Gritty motherfucker.
He's a real tough guy. I didn't realise Ryan Harrower's competing.
No, I think he's out. I think his knee.
Oh, is he, man?
He was against Mike Hunter, right?
I like watching him, man. That's right. He was against Mike Hunter.
Who's Mike Hunter?
He's I think he's a blue belt. I think maybe SPG Murray, but
Is he?
Competed smashed me loads of times in the comps.
Mike.
I think he's only platted me twice.
Sure, Jamie McDonald's got some. He's jumped into one at the last minute. Yeah, he jumped into one last minute, I'm sure.
Need to get a bigger match.
Hunter K or something that is.
Aye, he's in a heavier match. I'm going to have a wee look here, because see if I can find these changes that's happened recently.
I think they may have been put on the Scottish Grappling page.
It'll be on the page. It'll just be added as like a comment or a post.
Yeah.
Because I know Reese.
Darren Clark's competing as well. Reese is competing. Shout out to Reese for sure.
Dylan's competing as well. It was quite cool. Dan's, I think this is Dan's first outing as a black belt, eh?
Oh, Liam Granger will now take Dav Bain.
Alright.
That'll be a cool match.
That will be a cool match.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that Dav Bain, when he beat Nate, kind of caught him by surprise, I think, with a straight ankle lock and actually fucking popped it. Aye, it was fucking horrible.
Liam's another good grappler. I don't think he got a chance to show what he was made in that last one. Is it against Danny? It was against Dan's a really good grappler though, eh?
That's right, went against Dan Hope and lost. Dan kind of just had wrestled him and then tapped him, I think, eventually with a heel hook.
I think so, yeah. Dan's a really good, he's up there though, eh? So.
Aye, for sure. Jamie McDonald's going against David Lowe for Open BJJ. So I think David's quite experienced. I might be right in saying he's purple belt level, I think. He went against he's going against Jamie McDonald, who's the big tough heavyweight for Inverness, who's like been fighting a lot of MMAs. He's really good as well, man, so it'd be interesting. I was speaking to him last night about it. I was just like, belts don't matter. I was just putting that through. When you're an MMA fighter, belts don't matter. You could be fighting anybody, so
100%.
it doesn't really care. You don't really have to care about what belt anybody is or anything like that. Like, I think you usually have an athletic advantage if you've fought MMA before most of the time, and some other benefits as well, like posture,
belts don't always stand for
wrestling. Generally, you're going to be able to out wrestle the guy usually. So this is a cool one. This is the one that happened recently. So Darren Clark versus Arik.
That's cool.
Arik fell up north, up for the gold team.
Aye.
That's an under 76 black belt gi sub only match.
Is that the first black belt match on SGI today?
You could be right, man. I think you could be right.
Man.
I can't remember any other black belt match. And fair play to Darren and Arik for putting it in the line, because a lot of coaches and stuff don't like to compete locally or anything like that,
man.
because like, rather than not even just that, just like for their club or whatever, because they think it might affect their club a lot of the time. But ultimately, like, two good guys going against each other, one's going to win. It's no big deal. Do you know what I mean? It's no big deal. Like,
it's not as if it's some mug that they're rolling against. It's two high level dudes. Man.
both black belts. You lose to somebody, you lose to somebody. So that'll be pretty cool that these two are going to go at
So I'm
it.
assuming that'll be in the gi, obviously.
Yeah, that's it. That's a gi match. And I think it's Darren's first outing as black belt.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
so, man.
And Arik's been competing at years as a black belt.
He's also
We've always caught him down at Naga. He brings like the kids and stuff down to Naga. Usually brings a full team. Arik's a really nice guy, so it'll be interesting to see that match and how it goes and stuff. I think that's the main one. So that is pretty much the main ones, really. I don't think there's too much else other than that for SGI.
You're competing, man. You're competing, man. Who's your guy?
I don't even know his name.
Oh, look at this arrogance! sheer arrogance for Baz.
It's just a blank face.
It's just a face.
He just sees somebody tapping. He doesn't see a fucking an opponent.
It's just an avatar.
Just a body that taps.
I know his gym's quite good with leg locks.
Yeah. Where's he from?
Magic Gym, Edinburgh.
All right.
The boy you said, who rolled Andy Baker, because Kenny's rolling,
Mhm.
rolled him into a truck pretty nicely, so they're fucking about the truck too, so that's quite interesting.
But
Nathaniel's footlock as well, so they do the legs pretty well, but
And is it no gi sub only?
aye,
Yeah.
10 minutes, but
Good.
I don't have to see it going 10 minutes.
Oh.
I'll either go out my shield or try and put it in it, man.
Good.
That's the game, man.
You need to be exciting, that's
Oh,
why
fun.
I like it, man. It's,
Aye.
they're all coming to see a show, you need to fucking flip or some shit.
It's all about having fun, man.
Aye.
Spoken like Thomas there, man. That is spoken like Thomas there. I'm dying to eat this, man. I'm going to wait to borrow.
It does look
It's
amazing.
technically a protein bar, man. Fucking eggs, man. Eggs.
How was your training camp for it, dude? Was it alright, man?
It's good. Learned some good stuff. So everything. So I was over in Amsterdam. I actually did a drill. Like, we just drilled for so much. And I think I did a double class maybe. You just drilled the same thing. You just like sat right in. It was quite good. Like just, something's kind of similar to did before, but it just sits in nice with the game. So that was quite a worthwhile trip. Even though I got a wee bit of chest infection, which wasn't ideal. So
It's always the cold cutting about, man.
It's always good when you can pick up some new stuff that you can kind of put in your game right away.
actually, that Keith, the Kenzie guy that came last Friday,
Yeah.
one of the technique
Sunday.
2 that he showed,
Yeah.
I landed that many times.
Aye.
I must
Yeah,
have
just
done
'cause
a
of the
fucking
rain.
demon in my game.
Aye, that
That's a super legit move, man. Super
Yeah.
basic. And
that was awesome from him. The instruction was really good. So
Aye.
big thanks to Keith for jumping in and doing that.
Legit as fuck, man.
It was really nice, man. Really nice of him.
What about you? How have you felt for your camp, man?
Nah, it's been alright, man. It's been alright, you know. I don't really have a camp for jiu-jitsu or anything like that. I just train the way that I'm training, and I'm just going to roll with people, and that's it.
Just have fun, man.
That's it.
It's the main thing. Yeah,
it's a couple of rolls, man. I struggle to get excited for it. I want to get back fighting at some point this year.
Aye, man. That's a different kind of smile at the end of that, though.
I just always feel like, you know what, that you're probably not going to get hurt. You're probably, you know what I mean. You're going to grapple a guy. The guy beats you. You shake his hand. It's not really any big deal, to be honest, man. They're all good guys. If you get, you know what I mean, I'm competing in a good tournament, so it's not like if I get beat, it's like, oh, I feel shit because I got beat. You know, if you get beat, you got beat by a good guy, so who cares? You know what I mean?
That's back to what you were saying, though, man. I mean, at the level, I mean, you're out there and you're putting your name on the line, you're doing it. Same as these guys, same as yourself, same as everybody that's on SGI, man. Eh? So it's the competitive side. If you don't.
I don't think I've ever done a warm-up for a jiu-jitsu tournament. I don't think I've ever had my heart rate getting raced up. I'll maybe give myself a couple of slaps before it and try and get myself in the zone, but...
I'm 95% positive in almost every comp that I've been with you, man. I'm like, right, man, you want to do a wee warm-up? You're like, I'll warm up on the mat, man.
It's like a 10-minute match. Like,
do you know what? We'll go and get a coffee first, man.
Aye, it's a 10-minute. I just feel like it's a 10-minute match. It's a long fucking time to be grappling somebody, like,
and getting spurred on.
Aye, you can usually control how the match goes anyway. Do you know what I mean? You can usually control the pace of the match and get your breathers if you want to get a breather, or
and just wait till somebody pokes it.
And my style of grappling is I like the attack anyway, so I'm not really getting tired because I'm having fun usually, and then if I do get tired, then like fine, just I've got tired. It doesn't even matter. Like it's just totally different to MMA. So for when I compete in jiu-jitsu, I just do not feel a lot of pressure, because ultimately in MMA, everybody I care a lot about MMA. So and you know my fights in MMA, I care too much. I care too much about my fights in MMA that I want to do everything perfect. And when you lose in MMA, it's devastating, because you know you've put real training in. You've put real training in for 10 weeks, usually. Really not even 10 weeks. Like for me, with my MMA fights, because I never really took a break, I'd been training for, you know, for most the last few fights or any fight I'd lost, usually 8 years, 7 years. I've been training constantly for those fights, you know. So in my head, I wasn't thinking, you've trained an 8-week fight camp or a 10-week fight camp, you've trained your entire life for this fight, and then when you lose it, it's devastating, because you've not done enough that you needed to do in that 7.5 year or 8 year.
You know, look back and try and blame yourself, didn't you?
Oh, you always blame yourself. What could I have done differently? Aye. I mean, there's nobody else to blame. That's the sad thing about it. You can't blame anybody. If you lose, you lose because it's your fault, and you need to change it. Even if there is outside factors, it's still within your control. So with MMA, I was really hard on myself. So nothing else really bothers me. You know, it's like when I competed at MMA, it was always devastating if I lost, and even if I won, I expected that of myself. So it was really lose for me with MMA, because I expected myself to win, and if I lost, I was devastated. So I wasn't like, oh brilliant, I won. And if I won, you know, I was just like, oh, I won. That's what I meant to do. And then so it was actually lose. But with jiu-jitsu, I'm just like, I don't really have a.
You're not getting elbowed in the face.
Aye, exactly. You lose at jiu-jitsu, what happens? You have to tap out. Your pride hurts for 5 minutes, and then you go into the next one and compete, and then you get rid of the feeling.
Sign up for your next competition.
That's it. You can get over it really quickly, and I always fall back on the fact that 99% of the time, if I lose in jiu-jitsu in a real fight, I can punch the guy's face in. So you know, so it doesn't hurt my pride too much losing in jiu-jitsu, because I just think, no, if that was outside, I'd probably do alright. Aye, but.
I mean, you know what you man, you should see if you do lose a fight, man. I mean, I've been in as well. You do, it fucking tears you up. You sit there and you lie awake till like fucking your own time in the morning, and you replay the fight, and then you say, oh, this is fucking nothing. Man,
There's still times I think to myself, like when I think back on a mistake that I've made in a fight, and I'll just be like, back! Do you know what I mean? Like, I like PTSD. I'll be sitting like, why the fuck did I do that? I should have just stayed on top and fucking punched his fucking face in. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get shit like that. I can't think about it because I get so annoyed. So
hindsight's fucking the best way.
But if you didn't care about it, there would be something wrong. You know what I mean?
If you didn't care about it, you're in it for the wrong reasons.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? But aye, 100%. Had some good ones, like even losing, coming back with cuts and that in the face, and obviously you didn't see, like, she's in the bed, kids are in their bed, and that, and I'm sitting there thinking, fucking blood over the face. Next day you wake up and it looked like it's like something in a fucking horror film. They're all freaking out, and it's like, wait, you're freaking out for, and you're just that like consumed with what happened the night before.
Can't concentrate or anything.
Concentrate on nothing, whatever they're saying, man, it's just falling in deaf ears and shit.
Yep.
But aye, man. But like you say, if you didn't care, then
aye, what you doing at some point?
It's just I just remember like the bird walking by with the hanger. Like, this is happening.
Aye.
I was just like, oh fuck.
It's one of the best feelings in the world, man, though, when they change your friend, see walking out.
Aye, and even near my last few fights, I kind of stopped losing even that excitement. I kind of felt quite calm and just, I was starting to feel quite comfortable, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I was just starting to feel like, you know, not really getting the same buzz off that anymore.
No, man.
I don't know, I need to like maybe start like being a serial killer or something.
Get that look in your eye.
Getting more, no, I mean like actually being a serial killer. It's like I'm saying it's maybe more of a buzz, you know what I mean? Yeah, because I'm not getting the
practicing the smother jokes and that with my roll.
Oh, that's for sure.
Oh,
I've got some surprises for people at this SGI. If I get possession, some people will not be breathing.
No.
It's going to get real rapey at SGI.
That's some one-on-one Bundy shit right there. That's you.
That's going to be some. Aye.
He's Bundy, you're Manson.
It's going to get fun.
But no, that'll be a cool card. SGI's cool card. Big shout out to fucking James McIntyre for putting his cards are getting better and better and better.
He's like one of the nicest guys in jiu-jitsu, man. He's always been so nice, man.
Man, he weighs the weight of fucking every competition on his shoulders, man.
Definitely, and started getting that guy some timekeeper gigs again. He used to be like #1 timekeeper in Scotland, I remember. He used to have it as his Cage Warriors like signature. Scotland's #1 timekeeper, but I've not seen him at the shows lately. Maybe he's just scunnered by MMA or he's too busy, but
I mean, he's doing a lot with the
jiu-jitsu, aye, but he's such a nice guy.
I mean, every SGI card from the first one up to this one, it's getting better and better and better. Eh? No, the first one was good. The first one was excellent.
Yeah.
But it's just he's banging it full of talent. Eh?
Aye, he's done it. Him and Gaz have done a lot for the sport of jiu-jitsu in Scotland. You know, with pushing the shows and trying to get it, you know, as legitimate as possible. And they know the direction they need to take to try and get it as a recognised sport and stuff like that. So it's good that people are thinking that way, and it kind of saves anybody else for having to do it, because he runs, you know, really good, well organised shows, and everything always runs smoothly. And it's no, you know what I mean, you can tell he's not doing it for money, you know what I mean. He's
in it for the love.
He's doing it because he loves jiu-jitsu and he's trying to grow the sport. So that's awesome. And they do well trying to get athletes paid and stuff like that. Like with SGI, you know, the way they've been working out, they're giving a percentage to
awesome.
the tickets to the competitors, which is fucking class, really, that they're doing that. And even just giving guys a platform to compete sub only. Like, I'm a big believer in sub only and a big supporter of sub only. I think it's like the way to go. I think it's better jiu-jitsu. It's harder to do in a tournament format, but I think it's the way to go. I like sub only, less rules, less stuff to think about.
More of a fun role.
Aye, more of a realistic sort of role and a realistic sort of shot at who's a better grappler, I think, for sure. Because there's, you know, some gyms still that are like neglecting leg locks and not training, and I get like not training, like maybe like not training white belts and some blue belts and stuff, leg locks, because I get that, because it can take away for the passing and it can take away for other things, but it can also complement passing if you use it in the right way. It can be, and honestly, I don't think it's like substantially more dangerous than any other submissions. Like jiu-jitsu, I hate when people get on about this being dangerous, that being dangerous. Like MMA is a dangerous sport and jiu-jitsu is a fairly dangerous sport if people get, you know, let their egos get involved. And I think, like, if you've been doing jiu-jitsu for a few years, you're going to know when to tap, whether it's a leg lock, whether it's, you know, not, especially if you've been training in the gym. So I don't know, I think it's just an old school mentality, because you used to always say the Brazilians would be like, what is it, the leg lock is the dirty thief, you know. They used to say it was a dirty thief or something like that. Like, can't remember what it was. Like the rear naked choke is king, and the
gonna put it out there for the wee guys. It's the fucking equaliser.
the equaliser. Definitely, man. You see some small guys doing the attack in the legs, and it changes up the game for them.
I don't understand the reaping. I always get DQ'd for it. I apply control to the leg.
Aye. Well, it's what happens is, like, the knee explodes.
That's what it is. The fault thing explodes, full mat, then goes on fire.
Detonator.
You know, and then,
if you reap,
and the
knee
reaper appears.
I can see that happening, to be fair.
The knee reaper appears and say, "What are you doing?" There's some. Yeah, we could be here for hours talking about IBD and the sub-only, man. But I think it should be a lot more sub-only. Ken, I was glad to hear Stevie Way getting that.
That's cool. Man. Yep, on the MXP show, Stevie Way, one of my main training partners, one of our main training partners, is going to be competing. Was it Grappling with Strikes on? Jits with Hits,
which is cool. Which to be fun is probably the most lifelike jiu-jitsu that you'll get, man.
If they get the back.
But I'm fairly impressed that combat jiu-jitsu is starting to weave its way in now. You know what I mean?
I'm not a fan of it.
Do you not like it?
Nah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
I like it as long as it's open palm shit's a bit much. If closed palm can make a fist.
Nah, I just think just fight. Just fight, man. Aye.
And that's just for the tweeners.
It's not fair. Like it's fine if two people want to do it, and it's fine if that's what somebody wants to do, and it gives somebody an avenue to compete and work their way in. But I just think the less versions of MMA, the better. Just like that's what the argument I had when there was old semi-pro rules and the old semi-pro rules, old C-class amateur rules when you couldn't punch the head in the ground, and there was all these variations of MMA rules, and it just confused people. People were going to MMA's still a cowboy sport in the UK. Yeah. We're not even close to even having it like sanctioned or any kind of governing body or anything like that. And if you've got like a mixture of all these different rules going everywhere, it confuses things. And people.
Man, we fought in some shows and one set of rules is totally different from another set of rules, and it's like.
Well, headhunters you can knee the head. Like what the fuck?
Aye, and that for some people that's good because those guys are going to train knees to the head. Those guys are going to train that because they've got more of a Muay Thai background. So it definitely favours them. But
that's a powerful move, though, man.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's as devastating as you can get. Like, there's a good point to say that if a knee to the head's in, then everything should be in. Realistically, because there's nothing worse than somebody clinching up your head and putting a full clean knee right to your head. Nothing will shut your lights off like that. What else is going to shut your lights out worse than that? Nothing, really. So I don't know. I just feel like the more variations of rule sets, it just confuses things. And then, I mean, I'm probably even further to blame than now because I'm doing the white collar stuff, which is a totally different thing. But that's in the same boat because now you've got a lot of guys that are doing the white collar ones and they're telling people, I'm hearing anyway that people are like putting up their records on Sherdog that they're wanting to know that after doing a white collar bout, a charity bout, which is totally different. Like, make no mistake about it, the level of a white collar bout is completely different to the level of amateur MMA.
You tell them
completely different. And I mean, I always
the first things you tell them because I've witnessed it myself. Yeah, I mean, there and you say that to them. It does not make you any
that's it. Like doing the white collar bout is you fought another guy that's trained for 8 weeks. It's nowhere anywhere near what an MMA fight is now. Like the levels of amateurs, especially after watching that on top yesterday. Some of those amateurs that were fighting on top yesterday were better than half the pros. Or the pros from my day anyway. The pros, some of the guys that were fighting pro in my day. Some of those guys that were amateurs last night were incredible.
Training like pros.
They're training like pros. They're full time. They're purple belt jiu-jitsu level. They're mixing up striking. They're doing switching stancing. They're hitting everything. They're Muay Thai sharp. They're wrestling sharp. These are guys that are only 3-4 fights in. You know what I mean? I'm still not doing all that right, and I'm 20 fights in. Do you know what I mean? I'm still not doing all that stuff perfect, and you're seeing these guys.
Fucking drag you down so I can elbow your leg like
So, do you know what I mean? So, like, that's something I always try and make clear is that doing one of the charity bouts is totally different. And I've had a few debates with a couple of people online where, and I still stand by what I say, that it's not any more it's definitely not any less dangerous or any more dangerous or less dangerous than an MMA bout. If anything, I could argue that it's more dangerous having an MMA fight because the guy's more skilled. I just think that they're both dangerous. Like, if you're trying to say that MMA is safe, it's not. MMA is not safe, and the charity bouts aren't safe. The MMA is not safe. MMA fighting in general is not safe. If you want to be safe, don't get into any combat sports because none of it's safe. None of it's safe whatsoever. You're going to get head trauma most of the time in all of them. I've been very lucky over the years, but your body's going to get tanked up. There was days when I couldn't walk into work over the years when my shins were hardening up. When I first started Muay Thai, I was about a year limping into work. your body hardening, your elbows for submissions, your shoulders even just developing to box regularly. Everything, your body's going to go through some shit if you want to train MMA properly. And if you don't want to do that, then it's not for you. Like, if you don't want to go through all that to be a real MMA fighter, then
it's all or nothing, man, isn't it?
Aye, that's it. Like, you kind of get it twisted. We were lucky that when we started, the level wasn't that great in amateur MMA, or I'd have probably been getting battered for every fight, you know, like at the start, because I started fighting after about 6 months, less than 6 months I was fighting, and all I had was a leg kick, an armbar, and a jab. I had 3 weapons, you know what I mean? And that was it, and I thought it was hard. That was my 4 attributes. I was skinny. I'd never done any sport before in my life. The least athletic guy you could have got. But I thought, I'll give this a bash. I want to fight, and I was just lucky that the level wasn't that great then. And I picked up jiu-jitsu quite quickly and was able to. I was aggressive, and I picked up most stuff quite quick. I think when I got my first knockout, I'd only been training Muay Thai for. It was like I started in March and I had my first knockout in April. A head kick knockout after a month of training Muay Thai. So I got quite lucky. I was picking stuff up quick.
Was it against Gala Shields? Was that?
No, that was when I had a Muay Thai fight. I knocked the guy out. It was McDougall when I fought him in SFC. I'd only been training Muay Thai. Well, remember Josh's gym opened up.
You bet me MMA.
Josh's gym opened up in March, wasn't it? Aye. March his gym opened up and I fought Chris McDougall. I think it was April 10th. So you're lucky if I've been training Muay Thai for 1 full month, but I learned how to do a head kick and a couple other things, and that was my first fight after training Muay Thai.
Fucking flinging
I knocked out the head kick, so that was just fortunate that I was picking it up quick. Really.
Yeah, man, I can mind that. Yeah. I mean that. Yeah, you had a couple of Thai fights, too, man. I had a knockout Muay Thai as well. Man.
Aye. Muay Thai was fun. It was actually the tough. Like, it was the only time I felt like I really had to fight, to be honest. Aye, because you've got no choice. You've got no other options. You can't outsmart your opponent. You've got to. I mean, you can outsmart your opponents. Technically, I was throwing just body shot, and then made the guy's hands drop, and then pretended I was targeting the body and went high and took the head off. But you've got less ways to outsmart your opponent in Muay Thai, I think, than you do in MMA. There's much easier ways to outsmart your opponent in MMA.
Muay Thai is very much one of these sports. It's like bang, bang, bang. Again, it's back, quite back and forth.
I feel like Muay Thai is like dominoes, but MMA is more like Pokemon. There's much more options.
Mind the first few Thai fights, so it's the shins. The shins the next day, man. It's fucking like you see one and they walk and that. It's like, walking about the house as if you'd shot yourself.
Aye. I have no idea what you're talking about, man.
It's me then, what I woke up thinking now. Shins are that, so I'll just do a shite.
Aye, man, it was a cool show last night. It was good to see loads of people doing well. Good to see all the fighters. It was cool to see. I caught up with James Doolan. I was seeing him. He is so busy, man. I sometimes forget and I think about like what he has to do. Like the amount of fighters he's got in that gym. Like you've no idea how busy that man must be. Aye. And he's just got a new kid and stuff like that as well. So it's amazing that he even keeps it up and manages to attend all the fights. When you think about it, it's pretty crazy. But that's what he loves. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't do it unless you loved it, just like everybody. That was Barry clicking on Higher Level Martial Arts here on their website. So we shout out there as well.
But that comes through.
Aye, I think that wraps up most of our chat anyway. Gary's decided to tuck into his meringue.
Just waiting so long, man.
Am I right on a meringue? Okie doke.
Is that us for the first one?
Aye, that's us for the first one. So thanks if you watched our first podcast. Thanks for viewing in. Hopefully we've not talked too much shit and bored the ears off you. But aye, it's all good. Peace out.
Thanks so much, man.
Cheers.
Cheers.